and you are going to the dinner tonight with myself and some of the speakers. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I gotta get that down here. Okay, sorry. So if you have any questions about that, just let me know, or come see Randy at the desk. But we're having a dinner tonight. Randy, where's the dinner at? Who? Lupe Tortilla.
Andrea, how do you say that? Lupe Tortilla.
Lupe Tortilla.
Tortilla. Okay. Wait, I wasn't done. But I wasn't done. Okay, all right, there we go. We'll be a team, okay? We'll be a team player. All right, so dinner's at 6.
I believe so. Is it 6-ish? Yeah. So right now we're on time within 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so dinner's at 6. If you need the address, let us know. We'll get you the address. But it'll be amazing. For those who are not going to the dinner, right across the parking lot, right this way, is 2 rows.
2 rows.
And we've got that reserved for an amazing networking that can happen right now. For an amazing network, you're going to hold it. Okay. Shannon, cool. So there'll be a networking event right over here to go and get to know everybody and have an amazing time. Okay? What else?
That's it. No, that's it. You're good.
Also, those that are staying in the hotel that are going to the elite dinner, see us. We do have big enough vehicles to carpool.
Big enough vehicles to carpool, I believe, is what Emerson was translating.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Actually saying shine.
Let it shine, yeah. Let the vehicle shine. So that's what's happening tonight. And again, for everybody else, for the people that are not in the elite group, 2 rows right across the street. And that is at your own expense, but that'll be a great opportunity for networking. Sounds good?
Yeah.
How do we do it all?
You don't.
Okay, all right, got it.
Mike just killed the mic.
So, Mike number 3, kill it. Salt and Pepper Gang is going to have another member of the crew. I think that she'll follow you. She'll follow you.
Rico, you've got a new member of the Salt and Pepper Gang, and she can sing. And you can okay, I'm talking to your new boss.
All right, she'll figure it out. Yeah, she'll figure it out. Okay, so are we ready? Are we ready? Late kids right now, there's a baby crying, sweet Lord.
Hey, she's learning how to use that mic while you're back.
Are you ready for our first speaker after lunch? Can I get a Unshakable. Yes, sir. Unshakable. Yes, sir. Unshakable. Yes, sir. Awesome. I think we're ready. I'm going to be introducing them. How many of your group is coming up? Dose 2. I'm bilingual for the day. Ladies and gentlemen, this group was founded by Rico Davis. They are more than a brand. They are a movement. They've been featured on shows as big as The Shade Room. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Salt and Pepper Gang! Hello, how you guys doing?
I didn't have any speech or anything planned. I found out that I was actually going to be speaking. Yeah. But, I always take the opportunity to spread my message, spread my story, and let you guys know what it is that I've been through in my life. My name is Rico Davis, founder of the Salt and Pepper Gang. The things that what we do in the community is what I have been doing for over 30 years. Now I have brothers to do it with. And with us and our message is simple. We're giving back to the community and teaching our young men what it is and what it needs to, what they need to do to become a man. Because when you get a certain age in life, and just because you got a gray beard, it doesn't qualify you as being a man. Things that you do in the community and the impact that you can show the younger man or the younger boy is what makes you a man. And the things that we do, we have like about 6 programs. And to name a few, we have programs they call Belt and Tie, which we teach young men how to tie a tie and how to pull up your pants and also how to respect women. You'll be amazed when we teach these young boys about how to tie a tie. There are some men that don't know how to tie a tie. A lot of times, the young men that we're trying to go back and help is the young men with no direction. When we teach a young man the things that they need to do to become a man, and when you change their mindset and when you change their appearance, you change their attitude. You change a young man's perspective on life. There are so many young men, like we talked about in media, they only believe what they see on TV. And how do we get back into changing a young man's perspective when he sees something on TV that's not even real? You have to talk to him. And I now have full custody of a 16-year-old. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not easy for me because the way I was brought up, when certain things I didn't do the right way, my dad showed me the belt, which was the correct way. And I learned fast. But these young boys and young ladies, you have to keep telling them something over and over. It's not like a broken record. And sometimes you want to give up, but we can't. So you have to continue saying it over and over and over again. So it's tough, but it's a job that I signed up for, and I'm okay because there is no better person that's going to teach him the right way, and it's going to be by his father.
Amen.
Along with all of the things that we do in the community, we don't just stop with young men. We, yesterday, was just at a senior citizen home, giving out 52 roses to every woman that was in that senior citizen home. We actually met a lady, she was 100 years old. We talk to these ladies, and a lot of them tell us things like, oh, thank you so much. Are you guys pastors? No, we're not pastors, ma'am. We just wanted to put a smile on your face. But to know that a lot of these ladies who have family members who love them, put them into these senior citizen facilities and have not even visited them in over a year. So to be able to have men that don't know them, because when we walk in those places, we come in there with some suits on, fedora hats, but all at the end of the day, we just wanted to make them smile, and they were happy. They were happy to get roses and flowers and balloons and cards. They were happy. So it only took us, 5 or 10 minutes to spend time with them. Out of the 60 ladies, most of them was in one group. I mean, because we can't spend 5 or 10 minutes with 60 ladies, that would be there all day. But to be able to go in there and just put a smile on their face, it means everything to them. It just took a little bit of time for us. But we've been doing it for the past 3 years that we've been in existence. These are the things that we do as a group. So when you see that Salt and Pepper Gang, just know that we are a group of distinguished gentlemen who's doing amazing work in the community. A lot of people don't understand that. They just see the men with the swag. Yeah, we get your attention. Yes, we are looking good, we're smelling good, we're doing all those things. But at the end of the day, after we get your attention, there's substance behind what we do. We are all men of professional different fields. We have former professional athletes, we have business owners, we have former military, retired military. And all we're doing is leaving an imprint in the community and showing people that we are out here making a difference. So a little bit about me. I am a former sports agent. Spent over 20 years working with athletes. I can go down the list of all the guys that I represented that was in the NFL and the NBA. And I sent plenty of young men overseas. But my mission didn't stop there. I always was giving back to the community. That's something that just instilled in me. And I really believe that I'm actually only still on this earth is because God is using me as an outlet while I share my testimony and uplift others. Along with my journey, this right here is my last book, which is called The Turning Point. This book is basically about my life story. It's called 16 Ways to Overcome Obstacles. This book is also on Amazon. And again, this is my third book. The second book is called Anti-Bully. Well, it's called SPG and Me. It's about a little boy who's always getting bullied in school. And the only person that can actually help and save him was SPG and his late father. Because we were the only one that could save this little boy from being bullied. I was literally at an elementary school last month reading my anti-bully book, to elementary school students. As I'm walking out the school, I heard about the news in Chicago about elementary school kids just beat up the parent and the student. See, you need people like SPG in the community because we're out here making a difference. We're not talking about what needs to get done. We're doing what needs to get done. And that's the difference. Because I know when we all walk in a room, a lot of us are 6'4", 6'5", 6'8", 6'9", and 6'10". When we walk into a room, we gain the presence just by our size. Because a lot of these young boys, I promise you, and I also speak at the Houston Juvenile Detention Center, a lot of these young kids, all they need is somebody to tell them what to do because parents are too busy trying to be their friend rather than being a parent. That's the problem. When I talk to these kids, they look at me, they're looking for answers. Some kids say they feel safer in jail rather than going home because they don't even know if the light's gonna be on. They don't even know if they're gonna be eating. So how do we fix this? We can keep talking about it, we can keep turning our head. We can't change the world. We can only do our part. And that's what SPG is all about. Making a difference in the community, one child at a time. Along with this book, and 3 years ago, when I started this group, a lot of people didn't know this. Because every day I left there, I still went out and I spoke to kids. I still went to the gym. I still lifted weights. I did everything I needed to do. But while I was starting the group, I was also going through radiation. I was dealing with cancer. But people kept saying, why you don't look like what you're going through? Because I told myself, I had cancer. Cancer didn't have me. And I told my doctor that, you know what? All the things that I've been through in my life, cancer, I'm not worrying about that. That's just something else I gotta jump over. I'll be okay. And you know what? After doing 3 months, 5 days a week, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm on that table, going through my radiation treatment. After my 3rd month, I get to ring the bell. And I remember, like it was yesterday, what my 3 rings is. For those who have to experience going through cancer, treatment, radiation, you get to ring a bell. That's your achievement. I didn't ring 3 bells instantly. I rang it one at a time because the first ring that I did, it was for me and my sacrifice for these 3 months. My second ring was for all of my family, my friends who prayed for me. And my 3rd ring was for all of the men who never got a chance to ring this bell. One thing about most cancer, it's treatable, but you gotta be proactive and get it taken care of. I don't like hearing the part about, oh, if I had just went and got checked. Go and get checked, men. We call it a silent death. It's only silent because nobody's talking about it. It doesn't make sense to talk about something after the fact. Let's be proactive. And if you know a man or a sister, brother, uncle, cousin, tell them, I love you, just go and get checked. I did a video that went viral. You know how many men come up to me and said, man, thank you. Because I saw your video, I went and got checked. Some said, yes, I got it. And then there were some men that said, no, I don't have it. But for the ones that did find out that they didn't have it, if they didn't go sooner, they could have been gone. And we've seen lately all of the men who already passed away from prostate cancer. Let's start telling each other, I love you. Just go and get checked. That's all I wanted to say. But last but not least, talking about my book that you guys can get on Amazon. Every one of us have a business that we want to grow, hopefully. Nobody wants to stand still with your business. So in order for your business to grow, you have to define these 4 letters. First, you must set goals that are realistic, that allows you option to be a winner. You think about those 4-letter words, you define it the way I described it, and your business will grow. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rico Davis. Rico Davis. Well done, Salt and Pepper Gang. Also.
One more for Salt and Pepper.
Oh, yeah. My bad. This is a good time for me to talk about the fact that after today, between the session and VIP dinner, Salt and Pepper Gang will be doing exams for the gentlemen. In the back corner of the room. Salt and pepper also means shake and bake prostate exams. And just mute me. Don't use punchline ever. Come on up.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? All right, I'm doing great, doing great. All right, once again, with Shelton Peterson with the Salt and Pepper Gang, I'd like to thank Mr. Rico for bringing me into this organization. A little bit about me. I am a Houston native, born and raised in Houston. Lived my life, went through the statistics, single parent home, working for my school clothes at 9 years old, working for Astro TV rental at 12, on the back of a trash truck at 14, getting pulled over at 15. I was a parent at 17 years old, been married right now 35 years. Me and my wife been together since 1910, high school. We got a 30-year-old, we got a 33, which is gonna turn 34 next month, and we got a 38-year-old here coming September. Oh, that's right. One thing about me, and Rico talked about what we do as an organization, right? The thing for me, it was about persevering a lot of the challenges that I faced during my life. The thing is, being a parent at 16, 17 years old, and then hearing my father as a child come in, and as he's in there, I'm thinking, I'm gonna see my dad in the morning, I'm gonna see my dad in the morning, I get up and he's gone. Didn't get a chance to see him. So when I got older, I was, once again, textbook, statistics. I gave you all that of what I've done. I was a great athlete, but I didn't make the grade. But one thing that motivated me, that inspired me, was to be a good father to my child, which in turn caused me to become a good husband to my wife, right? So I decided to join the Navy. I went off into the U.S. Navy in 1990. I went to do 3 years. 3, that was it. 3. And I ended up with a 0 on the back. Okay, ended up with a 0 on the back. The thing is about that, that was not my intention. That was not my plan. My plan was to go in, do 3 years, go try as a walk-on for the Houston Oilers, and guess what happened? They folded the team. So now I'm looking like, I don't want to play for Tennessee, but since I'm here, guess what happened? I never had the opportunity to go in there and try for Tennessee. I did play 2 years of semi-pro. Excuse me, I talk fast. I got a continuous breathing system. I'm from Texas. I have to take a breath. I'm going to remind you. So tell me to slow down. But I wanted to go as a walk-on. I was going to try to Tennessee, but didn't happen. I was an E4, and then some of the veterans, the only veteran in here. Who else in the military? Any other veterans? 20 years. 20 years. Thank you all for your service. And I'm going to tell you, because they're going to understand what I said. I was an E4 at 2 years and 9 months. I was an E5 at I was an E4 at a year and a half. I was E5 at 2 years and 9 months. I got in trouble. I went to campus mass, UCMJ. I still turned around and made E6 at 6.5 years. I became a commissioned officer at my 15-year mark. So I tell the story, I always talk about from the junkyard to naval officer, because that young kid that came straight off the street, walked into the Navy as an E2, worked my way up through the ranks. I was a senior weapons officer for the U.S. Navy's anti-submarine aircraft fleet for my last 2.5 years in the Navy. P3s, P8s, if you know about the P8 sighting, that's what I did, okay? But what do I feel about this right here? What I have done with this group of men over here is so important. And when I say it's so important, because we are out there to make a difference, right? And before I tell it, I want everybody to just say, when I say attitude determines what, I want you to say altitude, okay? Attitude determines what? Altitude. Attitude determines what? Altitude. All right, and the reason I'm gonna bring that up, I'll follow up in a minute, okay? So I'm gonna say it. And when you're getting out there and you're working with these young men and women, one of the things that's most important is the impact that you leave on them. Okay? With the Marines and the Army, they out there in the dirt, they doing their thing. Marines stand for my ASS required instructions normally every day. All right, to get them to work together as a group, my ASS required instructions normally every day. That's what I said about the Marines. I told him the story. But I talk about that because one of the most important things you can do and what you are doing in this room right now is you create relationships, right? You create relationships. But one thing about that relationship, what is a ship designed to do? Huh? Y'all be quiet. You got that. What is a ship designed to do? It's designed to take you places, right? It's designed to take you places. You load it up, you put on the precious cargo, you move it from place to place, right? And when you think about that, I want you to think about something. I said a ship, it moves you. So what is the purpose of a relationship? Right? If it ain't adding to you, we tell you to walk away from that relationship, right? What is the purpose of mentorship? You're looking at that mentor because you want that mentor to help you move somewhere, right? You look at you, if you think about that, you talk about a friendship. What is that friendship designed to do? It's designed to take you places. And those things right there, when you think about that, you know, it is very impactful. And you can keep going on with the ships. You can keep talking about the ships because if you think about all those elements of those ships, it is a relationship, friendship, leadership that's designed to take you places. Right? And the reason I talk about the attitude adjustment because I tell everybody with the right attitude, we can accomplish almost anything you want to accomplish in life, right? I won't say everything because I would love to be an engineer, but math is not my strong suit. If I got to give you the right dynamics for that ball to move, get out the way because it's not going to happen. So I talk about why we're here. We talk about becoming the unshakable investor. Unshakable. That requires time. That requires money. That requires focus. That requires an attitude adjustment. Wrong or right? Because attitude determines what? Because with the right attitude, you can accomplish almost anything you want to accomplish in life. And more. And more. And more. But you know you're going to have to take a chance. Right? It requires a chance. Right? So I always talk about the 3 C's of life. Y'all heard them before, right? What's the 3 C's of life? Anybody know? Wow, I can't believe I just spoke to a classroom full of high schoolers yesterday. He gave me a little bit. Huh? All right. Okay, I like that. But I always talk about, in order to get into something like this here, you don't know how it's going to turn out, so you're taking a what? Chance. Right? You're taking a chance, right? So, before you take that chance, you have to do what? You have to make it what? So now I'm going to back it up like I wanted to do it. In order for you to take the time and make an investment, you have to make a choice. Right? You have to make a choice that I am going to do something, I am going to move forward, and anything you do in life is a choice. Nobody knows what tomorrow brings. So we're taking a what? Chance. We're taking a chance. We're taking a chance. We done already made the choice. Now we're taking a chance because we don't know what tomorrow brings. But at the end of the day, there's going to be some type of what? Change. Change. Thank you, Mark. I'm about to get you up here with me. Yeah. So thinking about that, this whole thing and why you're here, and yes, I walked in, I really didn't know what I was getting into, but I'll tell you what. Attitude determines what? Altitude. And those 3 C's of life mean choices, chances, and what? Change. Choices, chances, and change. Look me up. My business is intent with the number 2, launch.com. Right? Don't judge me. It's a revamped web page. I got tired of other people taking my money. So I had to go back and revamp my web page. I have not put a lot of content on. But what I do, my intent is to arm tomorrow's leaders with the leadership tools needed to launch a successful pathway into work-life balance. Too much work, no what? No life. Too much life, no what? No work. Too much work, no life. Too much life, no work. You got to find that balance. You got to find that balance. And that's what's important. And one thing Mr. Davis left out, I am Reverend Shepherd Peterson. I am a minister. So I did want to put that out. And whoever put this together, and of course, thanks to Rico, thank y'all for having us. It's been a privilege for me to be up here and get an opportunity to share my story. So once again, I am military. I got about a couple more seconds. So thank y'all very much. Please look me up. www.intentolaunch.com. And if you're in the Richmond, Rosenberg area or in Fort Bend County, my wife is currently running for the Fort Bend County clerk position down there in Fort Bend County right now. So thank you.
Give it for Reverend Peterson, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Got a very special speaker coming up, and no, I don't mean the man introducing him. He's just something
This guy, I'm just asking.
special-ish. I don't know if it's on.
It is.
I don't think it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Toby Potter, I'm going to give you the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to first and foremost thank you so much for being here. About 8 months ago, I met this gentleman in Africa. First time on stage for me, listening to this guy put on a show that just resonates for a lifetime. And when we got the opportunity to go to Africa, I told him, just, hey, this is a once in a lifetime, let's do it. We're gonna get our stage, we're gonna get some understanding, some clarity, and then we're gonna also help understand our calling, which I'm gonna share with you here in a minute. But I met this gentleman. I was amazed. This gentleman has been a friend, a mentor, a coach, just an amazing leader who, at all times, does nothing but help everybody else become better, one way or the other. When you get to know him, when you get to hear him, when you get to be around him, you are already better just for that moment in time. These are the kind of people that you want to start including in your circle of life. Because if you're not around people like who I'm getting ready to bring up, they're not inspiring you to become better. They're not feeding your fire. They're not making you, forcing you to grow deeper, then you're in the wrong group. But this gentleman, who I call my dearest friend, mentor and coach, was just most recently awarded His Royal Highness Kingship in South Africa. I want to introduce HRH, Dr. Ruben West.
Like he said, clapping is free. So give it up to Toby Potter. Hey, turn that mic up. I want the power of the mic so I don't have to talk too loud. Listen, I'm excited to be here. Listen to this. 2 friends went camping. They set up their tent. They're excited, but what happened is they were going to be there for 3 days. It ended up getting cold. And so they started a fire. The problem was it was 2 men. If it would have been a man and a woman, then when they got in the tent, they could have huddled together and kept warm at night. But it was 2 men. So one of the guys had the bright idea to start the fire in the tent because they didn't want to cover. They started the fire in the tent, but unfortunately, guess what happened to the tent? It caught on fire. Now they started arguing back and forth. I can't believe you brought the fire in the tent, and now we don't have a tent. We're going to be here for a few more days, and they got to come pick us up, and we don't have a place to sleep. They burned up some of our clothes. I mean, they were going back and forth at each other. They were literally mad. And so they didn't talk. And they were wondering, what are we going to do? Our stuff is gone. The tent is gone. And you burnt the tent down. The next day, they were going to be there for 3 days. The next day, this boat pulls up. And he says, are you guys in trouble? He said, yeah, absolutely we're in trouble. Our tent caught on fire. It was his fault. And now we need to be rescued. He said, I'm here to rescue you. And he asked him, what brought you here? And he said, I saw the smoke. When I saw that smoke, I knew something had to be wrong. And so we made it a point today to come over to see if everyone was okay. And fortunately for you, we're here to rescue you. Why am I telling you this? Because a lot of times when we have problems, when our business goes up in smoke, when our relationship goes up in smoke, when our ideas go up in smoke, God will send people to help you. But they didn't have to get in the boat though. They could have stayed there and complained about the fact that the tent caught on fire. You could have said, I don't mind getting in, but I don't want to get in with him because he's the one that caught the boat on fire. They didn't have to, but they did. In other words, the help that was offered to them, they took the time to get the help. Why am I telling you this? Because you're here in this room today, and it's not a coincidence. It's not an accident. He didn't put this on so that I'd have an opportunity to speak. He put this on because he wanted to take the opportunity to give some people the help they need in their business. Now, do you have to take the help? Yes or no? No, you don't have to. You can stand there and complain about the business being on fire or the relationship being on fire. You don't have to take the help. Or you can do the smart thing. Say, there's a reason I showed up here this weekend. Was it weekend?
Close enough.
I just got back from South Africa yesterday, so I'm kind of confused. There's a reason I showed up here, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm going to accept the help. Now, I got something to show you. And I'm gonna pass it around while I'm talking. I'm just gonna show it to you. And I just want you to get some ideas of what it is. Whatever you say it is, I'm gonna hand it to this gentleman. He's gonna pass it around. At the end, I'm gonna ask you what it is. What do you see? What do you see? But listen to this. Whatever your business is, whatever the reason you showed up, I love this gentleman's story. I mean, that was so powerful when he talked about growing up in the trailer park. And he said that the fence was there not to keep the people out, but to keep us in. But he made it out. I love it. I love it. You guys are trees. Clap for the trees. That was powerful. And then I love what he said. Look, you can still have your passion, but you don't have to be broke. Stop using it as an excuse to not make money. I love that. But what I realize is that the only way you're going to do it is you have to have a reason why you do it. I heard Toby Potter speak when I was in Kenya, and he talked about his family. And he talked about his daughter, and that being the reason that he decided to walk away from what he was doing and invest in his family and doing something that his family could be around him. And did you see his granddaughter up on stage? Did you see her?
Yes.
Maybe turn the mic up just a little bit more. I think they're having a problem hearing me. His granddaughter, did you see that? He still has them around. He's not changed who he is. He wanted to do something where he could have his family members close by, and he's doing it. They say when your why is strong enough, the how doesn't matter. And so I got to tell you what happened to me. I was a surgical tech. I passed instruments to the doctors, and I was in surgery, and I got a phone call. And they said, Ruben, we have a phone call, which I knew was crazy because I was a tech, and so we don't get phone calls unless it's bad news or really good. So we either run the lottery and this is my last day, or there's an issue. And so when I picked up the phone, I said, hello? Mom? Grandpa Clyde? Congestive heart failure. No, Mom, I don't need a break. I'm going to go up there right now. And I went to my director, Deanna Goodman. I said, DG, my grandfather, Clyde, he's on the 7th floor, and my mom said he's having congestive heart failure, and I have to go see him right now. And I walked up to the hall on the 7th floor, and I knew it was my grandfather's room because he was hard of hearing, and the TV was very loud. And if you would have been in the room, just in the corner, you would have saw me walk in and say, Grandpa, it's me, Ruben. Who? Ruben. And I snatched off my hat and I snatched off the mask. I said, it's me, Ruben. You work here? Yes, sir, I work here. And they pay you for it? Yes, sir, they paid me for it. See, my grandfather asked that question because he was 94 years old. He was born in the 1890 something. The records weren't too clear. But when he was 13 years old, his father got killed because he went on the neighbor's property to retrieve their pig and he shot him. And so from 13 years old, my grandfather was on his own. He said they had a saying, if you don't work, you don't eat. And so at 13 years old, he was on his own. He said he worked as what they called a field hand. He would travel from farm to farm doing field work. He said they paid him 6 cents a week and then charged them 6 cents a day and charged them 4 cents a week to live in the barn. And then he said they learned how to cook whatever they weren't going to sell to make it taste palatable. So they ate the pig's feet, the pig's ears, and the pig's intestines, like whatever they had. And when I told him that I worked here and they paid me for it, he said, my. Because it was outside of his realm of thinking. As a matter of fact, Viktor Frankl wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning. He was in the Nazi prison camp, and they asked him, how could people survive the unspeakable cruelty of Nazism?
And he said they had one of three things. Listen to this. Their belief in God, they had a loved one that they were destined to see, or they were dedicated to a cause greater than themselves. And in one of those three things, watch this, listen to this, powerful. He said, in some ways, suffering ceases to become suffering the moment it has a reason. Such is the meaning of sacrifice. And watch this. I believe that day, when I walked into my grandfather's room, and he said, "You work here?" "Yes, sir." "And they pay you for it?" "Yes, sir." And he sat back on the bed and said, my. I believe that day, all those long, hard days in the field for him converted from suffering to sacrifice. And I said, "Grandpa, I'm gonna get your money." "Grandpa, the money that they were supposed to pay you, that they didn't pay you," because he said sometimes they would work all day and then they would sick the dogs on the boys and tell them, "Get on out of here." "Grandpa, I'm gonna get your money." And so nobody has to tell me to get up out of bed. Nobody has to tell me to work. I already have a reason why. When this why is strong enough, the how doesn't matter. You will find a way or you will make one. It's okay, you can clap, it's free. And so I decided that when I gave my grandfather my word, "Grandpa, I'm gonna get your money." Not because it's about money, it's because it's what you owe. And so when I went to South Africa just this last week, and I just got back 2 days ago, and they coronated me as king, I said, I'm dedicated it to my grandparents. You understand? Why? Because I know the work that they put in. I know the sacrifice that they had. Now, the only reason I'm telling you is because somebody put in the work for you. Somebody did it for you. They had this resources, they had this opportunity, they had this possibility, but they did every single thing they could. And how dare we sit on their sacrifice? I will not. I'm going to show up. And if help is what I need, I'm going to get it. If partnership is what I need, I'm going to do it. What I've learned is you have to invest in yourself. Now watch this, don't just take that as a simple statement. You have to invest in yourself, watch this, at the level in which you want a return. Catch that? Invest in yourself at the level in which you want a return. Now let's break that down. Big investment, big what?
Return.
Medium investment, medium. Small investment, no investment, no return. And so many people will show up in rooms just like this to hear what everybody has to say. But will they make the investment? I don't know. And then watch this. A year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, they're in the same spot or farther backwards, and they don't know why, because they never made the what?
Investment.
He didn't make the investment. I just believe that there are things that are ordained for us. I believe there's things we're trained to do, and there's things that we're ordained to do. But no matter what, once you're selected, you still have the work to put in. The gentleman, he said he was in the NFL, played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Where's he at? You're right back there. He said he played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now watch this. Can you imagine being selected for an NFL team? That's amazing. I gotta give it up to you. That's amazing. Congratulations. But that's when the work begins. They didn't just say, "Oh, you made it. Come on, do what you want to do." No, that's when the work begins. And so many of us are selected for the next level in life, not understanding that that's when the work begins. I wasn't naive when they coronated me as king, because now that's when the work begins. Right. And so what I told him, I said, I want to say thank you to you, but I understand that it's time for me to put in the what? Work. The work. That's when the work begins. When you're selected for that next level, it's another level of work. And so when we show up to places like this, we can't just show up. We have to show up to work. Winning requires work. And there's things that I believe, I just already believe that these things were predestined for me. You catch that? They were already predestined for me. They were ready for me in the future. There's things in your future that are already waiting for you. You just have to go out there and get it. Now watch this, let me show you. I was invited to do a TEDx presentation. I was so excited. I went and did the TEDx presentation. I go there, and then I checked in the hotel, and they said, hey, the room is ready, and anything you want, let us know. This was the hotel staff, and we'll bring it to your room. You don't have to come down. They said, you know, we got dinner tonight. We have breakfast in the morning. Whatever you want, you don't have to worry about it. And I said, okay. And you know what I said? I said, you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna be one of those people that's gonna run up a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that, Raphael. That's not me, you know what I'm saying? And so that night, I just had a few snacks. I had some, my wife always packs some snacks in my bag. So I just ate the snacks in my bag. It wasn't necessarily what I wanted, but I wasn't gonna run through extra money and stuff. And then the next morning, I got up, I took my shower, I didn't sleep much. And I went there and I went down, they said, you're gonna have breakfast? You know, all we have to do is sign into your room. You don't have to worry about it. We'll sign into your room. You can pay later. I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna run up all this money. I still got some snacks. I'll just eat the snacks. And then I did the TEDx, it was a great thing, and the next day, that evening, they said, hey, we're going to dinner. Just come out with this. And I said, you know what, I'm not gonna do all that, you know, I'm okay, or okay, I'll come, but I'm not gonna get much, you know, it's okay. The whole thing for me is I got a chance to do the TEDx talk. I was excited about the talk. I did the TEDx talk. And then I met with the president of the university that brought me in. And he said, did they take care of it? I said, oh yeah. He said, because we set aside money for everything you needed. Whatever you needed, it was already covered. Did you get to what I said? Whatever you needed, it was already covered. We set aside money for you already. So whatever you needed, we had already taken care of it. All you had to do was ask. If you wanted breakfast, it was already taken care of. All you had to do was what? If you wanted dinner, it was already taken care of. All you had to do was, if you wanted anything from the bar, or any snack, or whatever you needed, it was already taken care of. All you had to do was, and I didn't ask for nothing, thinking that I would be going overboard by asking. And I believe there's somebody here right now today that your future is already set.
Mm-hmm.
That what you've been called to do is already manifested in the future. And there's people that have been assigned to help you, but they're not going to help you unless you do what? Ask. If you don't ask, you don't get the help. And it's not because it wasn't preordained for you. It's not that it wasn't preorganized for you. It's because the very fact that you didn't take the time to ask. And so, they even asked me, do you want breakfast? Oh no, not me. Do you want dinner? Oh no, I'll just eat the snacks. They even asked me, and I didn't even accept the help. You have people here this week, and Dr. Toby Potter put on this event. And he said, look, I got the workshop tomorrow. Just come to the workshop tomorrow. And there's people that are thinking, I don't know if I should go to the workshop. I don't know if it would help me. And I don't know if I should show up. He's asking you, don't be like me. Because in the end, and this is just my theory. This is just me talking to you. I'm just being transparent with you. I just believe that in the end, we're going to have to answer. And I want you to just imagine, however you imagine it at the end of your life, and I want you to walk up to whoever you have to answer to, and I want you to look to the left, and I want you to look to the right. And then on the right side, there's all these people you know, and that's Curtis, that's right. I remember I went to school with them, I helped them with their car, helped them with their grades. There's all these people you know, and then on the other side, there's a whole wall of people that you don't know. You've never met, you've never seen them. Like, who are all these people? I have no idea who all those people were. And then you hear, those were the people you were supposed to help if you stepped outside of your comfort zone. Those were the people that you were supposed to help with that business or with that 501c3 if you would have been willing to ask for help. But because you didn't ask, and because you wouldn't accept help, because you wouldn't raise your hand, they never got the help that you were supposed to give. Irma Bombeck said, when I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope I would not have one single bit of talent left. And I can say I have used everything you have given me. You're going to have to answer. You don't have to answer for me. I'm just a messenger. I'm just trying to help you see. Now I want to show you something. Because this is profound. I'm going to come around. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. Don't do it yet. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. And I'm going to come around, and I'm either going to touch you on your right shoulder or your left shoulder. If I'll touch you on your left shoulder, I just want you to open your eyes and see what's going on. You're going to play some light music. Slow. If I touch you on your right shoulder, I want you to stand up, and you can do anything you want to do. You catch that? If I touch you on your left shoulder, I want you to open your eyes and watch what's going on. If I touch you on your right shoulder, I want you to do what? And you can do what? You can do anything you want. Left shoulder, open your eyes and watch. Right shoulder, first stand up, and then just do whatever you want. I don't care what you do, but you're free to do whatever you want. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. Little music, low and slow. Everybody close your eyes. I'm going to move quickly. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. If I touch you on your left shoulder, I want you to open your eyes. If I touch you on your right shoulder, I want you to stand up and do whatever you want to do. Left shoulder, open your eyes. Right shoulder, stand up and do whatever you want to do. Left shoulder, open your eyes. Right shoulder, stand up and do whatever you want to do. Left shoulder, open your eyes. Right shoulder, stand up and do whatever you want to do. Last time, left shoulder, open your eyes. Right shoulder, stand up and do whatever you want to do. Okay, fantastic. Everybody open your eyes. Okay, stay standing. Who's touched on their left shoulder? Raise your hand. Okay, what did you see?
Not everybody is actually standing or have their eyes open.
Okay, so some people aren't standing and some people don't have their eyes open. Anybody left shoulder over here? What did you see? Say that again?
I saw her moving over there.
Okay, she was moving over there. Anybody over here? Left shoulder? Over here? Left shoulder, yes. What'd you see?
A few people cheating.
A few people cheating. That's how they go through life. Okay. I got it. Okay, so you were touched on your right shoulder, right? What'd you do?
We have a saying that says, I am abundant, so I was just repeating it. I am abundant.
He said, I have abundance. Give him 2 claps. And he said he was dancing a little. What did you do?
I got up and stretched and twirled around and did whatever I wanted.
I love her. Give her 2 claps. She got up and stretched. She twirled around and did whatever she wanted to do. So profound. What did you do?
I drank my coffee and opened my eyes and looked at everyone else.
Oh, listen to this. She drank coffee, opened her eyes, and looked at everyone else. What'd you do, my friend?
I did a little stretch.
He did a little stretch. What'd you do, my friend?
Said a little prayer before I stood up and I stretched.
He said a little prayer, and he stood up and he stretched out. Was there anybody that still had their eyes closed? What were you thinking?
What's going on?
What was going on? What were you thinking?
I was thinking that no one's being touched on their shoulder.
She was thinking. What were you thinking?
What was the dance move I was going to do if you hit me on the right side?
Anybody else that wasn't touched? What were you thinking?
Did I miss something? Did he touch me and I didn't feel it?
Because you were wondering about what I was going to touch. Okay. Anybody else? Were you touched? On the left, were you touched? What were you thinking?
I got skipped.
Were you touched? What were you thinking? I want to go on. Can I show you something real quick? Sure. All of these people who didn't get touched were wondering if anybody was going to touch me. Did I get skipped? Did I get overlooked? Did anybody reach me? Did anybody touch me? Did they forget about me? And now watch this. Every single person who was touched on their right shoulder had the power to go around and liberate every single person and touch them on their right shoulder. But did they do it? No. They stretched, They danced, they drank hot coffee, they spun in a circle, they did everything while there were people sitting in the chair wondering if they were going to be touched. And there's people in this world right now that are waiting to be touched, and they're looking for people just like you. But we walk back and forth, we wander around, we waste time, we go to conferences, we don't sign up, we don't invest at the level that we want to return, and there's people wondering, is anybody going to help me? Is anybody going to reach me? Is anybody going to partner with me? Is anybody going to connect with me? They're waiting to be touched, and they're waiting on you.
Yes, yes.
Give it a hand.
You touched everybody, so.
He assumed that I touched everybody, but he still saw him sitting down. And there's a lot of people that are assuming, well, somebody else is going to do it. It's not up to me. Somebody else will reach them. Somebody else will connect with them. And so you know what they do? Nothing. And so I'm here to comfort the afflicted. I'm here to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. Because there's people waiting to be touched. And you can do it with your hand. You can do it with your business. He didn't give you the business idea for no reason. That's why I love when he said, we started this give back program. And if you don't want the money, give it to the church. But don't make an excuse for not going out there and being great. Don't make an excuse for not working hard for the people who sacrificed for you. I said, well, I don't want money. Money can't buy happiness. I don't need those nice things. You don't have to have them. But there's somebody who would like a plate of food. And I promise that if it came from you, they wouldn't be upset. Okay, I'm gonna be friendly now. I'm only saying because we come in these rooms just like this, and we get together, and it's kind of a kumbaya moment, and we meet people, and we leave, and sometimes there is no change. Serena Williams took French lessons. Did you know that? Serena Williams, you know, Serena? She took French lessons. Did you guys know that? It's okay if you did, you didn't. Did you know that? Some did, some didn't. She took French lessons. She would practice her tennis, and then she would go study French. And she even got a French tutor to teach her French, so that once she got done, she could study French. She would go practice all day, come home, learn French. Go to a tournament, come home, learn French. Be with her family, come and learn French. And they said, why in the world did you do that? And she said, so that when I won the French Open, I can deliver my acceptance speech in French. Why do I tell you that? Because you find what you expect to find. She understood, I'm going to be, not I want to win, I'm going to win the French Open. And when I win, I'm going to give my acceptance speech in French. And so I'm going to prepare right now for that moment. What's going to be your moment? What moment are you preparing for right now? Is it the opening of a new 501c3? Is it the sale of your business? Is it the elevation of your business? Is it the partnership with another business? What are you preparing for right now? And if it's nothing, get with somebody that's going to help you make it something. That day, I think it was 1988, that day when I told my grandfather, rest well, Grandpa, I'm going to get it. I just wanted him to know that you did all the work you needed to do, and if nobody else in the family does anything else, hand the baton to me. Watch me run. My nickname is going to be Usain Bolt, because I'm going to do everything I have to do, wherever I have to go, how hard I have to work, how many times I have to show up, whatever I have to do, whoever I have to connect with, I'm willing to do it, no excuses. His words, my. And then he shook my hands. His hands were swollen. He had congestive heart failure. His legs were swollen. His hands were swollen. I said, rest well. Because I knew we go to the hospital, and there's times we go and we get better, we come home, but I knew this time wasn't going to be that time. That he had lived a full life. He had done everything he was supposed to do. And now he was handing the baton to me, and I was ready to accept him. And there's someone here today. Where's that piece of paper that we were passing?
Over here.
Okay, fantastic. There's someone here today who's receiving the baton. And the great thing is you have people in the room right now that you can partner with. That person next to you, that might not be their seat, that may be your assignment. Did you catch what I said? It may be your assignment. See, we look at the people on the stage, but nothing stops you from connecting to the person next to you. Everyone here has a gift. How do I know? It's given to us. God does not discriminate. Beyond color, gender, ethnicity, religion, he gives gifts, skills, and talents to everyone. But what happens is we don't give them all the opportunity to bring them to the table. We don't see the value in everyone. So now, what I want you to do is I want you to tell me, who has an idea of what this was? Anyone? Yell it out. Yes.
At first it looks like a shark, but then secondly it looks like a handshake, like that right there.
Okay, a shark, a handshake, who else? There's no wrong answer. Yes, sir.
Kind of like a dove.
A dove, I thought that too. Yes, sir. At the head of a whale. No, it's okay. A what?
Goose.
A goose? Yeah. Yes. You didn't what? She said, I didn't see anything. What were you? Oh, you didn't see it. Okay, here's one. A continent?
Oh, look at that, like a little dinosaur.
A little dinosaur. A baby one. A baby pterodactyl. Anyone else? Yeah, what do you think it is?
An amoeba.
Huh?
An amoeba.
An amoeba. Single-celled organism. Yes. A stingray. Okay, yeah, good. Can I tell you?
It's the Holy Ghost.
It's the Holy Ghost. Okay, I like it. You know what it is? It's possibility. Because everybody looks here and they miss all of this empty space. It's the opportunity for you to create anything you think possible, but our eyes are automatically drawn to what's here in the middle. But what's really there is an open area for you to put anything there. That's what today is. It's an open area for you to put anything in your business, any opportunity, any connection. It's all right here in this room. Not for us, not for the people next to you, for the people who are out there hurting, worried, scared, wondering if anybody is going to touch them. I'm Dr. Ruben West, and there's people waiting to be touched.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Dr. Ruben West. If you don't know how highly we already think of Dr. Ruben West, Toby and I literally had to arm wrestle to figure out who was going to introduce him. We were fighting over it. It's a big deal. Like, who gets introduced to Dr. Ruben West? Well, it turns out it's your thing, so you paid for the room. And we felt pity. Yeah, you won, but you also lost your left arm. So there it is. So I like to always share the story about Dr. Ruben West, about the fact that my very first event where I keynote, and I love to share this, he was another speaker, and he was, I think, one of the keynote speakers. And watching him forever change the way that I wanted to be a keynote speaker. Not always for the good, by the way, because sometimes when you have that kind of natural essence to you, it's difficult to try to be somebody that is different than you and so good at it. But it was something that I realized a couple years after, once I was trying to struggle to figure out my identity on stage, was I don't have to be Ruben West, but I can be like Ruben West, and then still myself, and mirror a little bit of that. And he's one of the finest speakers you will ever see, and it's a pleasure, and I always have to say that it's such a pleasure for me to always get to share a room with you and see you speak. Can you guys give it up one more time for Dr. Ruben West? Be ready for the energy to go down, because Toby's our next speaker.
Hey,
I've had the honor and pleasure to get to know this gentleman over the last several months. He is, like I say, all gas and no brakes, and he has an absolute passion to create change in the world around him. He's got a lot of speeds, but he loves going fast, and he loves sharing with people what is going to get them to the next level, because he's been there. He's been up, He's been down, he's been all around, and he has found a way to realize his true purpose in life. Ladies and gentlemen, the unshakable investor, Dr. Toby Potter.
Thank you. So, it just dawned on me about 13 seconds ago that I was following you. I have been waiting to get up here all day until now. I mean, it's just not fair. It's not fair. But, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I'm gonna do. Because I promised you I'd give you all of me. I want to first start out with thanking you for being here today. And I want to tell you why we're all here. About 8 months ago, I met Dr. West in Africa on stage, and I told a story. And in telling that, I realized right then and there my next chapter of my life. And my next chapter is what we're doing here today, is helping others become unshakable. And when this all came into play, it was just divine throughout. And so I'm going to share with you why I now do what I do and how important it is for you to understand this is not just a coaching, mentoring course. This is a life transformation for me. Okay? So I'm going to do my best to get through this. In 2008, I had already built an amazing company. A mortgage company, a RE/MAX franchise, a title company, and an appraisal company, and living high on the hog. I mean, $100 million a year, easy. Back in the early 90s through the 2000s, you just basically went to work and printed money. And in 2008, the financial crash happened. And because I wasn't stabilized, I was shakeable, I lost it all. I lost it all. I mean, I went from a 50-foot yacht, a big house on 27 acres in McKinney, to being homeless in 6 months. With a wife and 2 kids, not the grandkids, but the 2 kids, about that age. And I remember many nights coming home and seeing their smiling faces and the joy in their heart because Daddy was home. I had to hold back the pain, the fight, because not only did I lose all my money, my house, my toys, but I also lost my identity. I lost my confidence. I had lost everything that had gotten me there in a blink of an eye. But when I came home at night, I still had 3 people that never lost faith in me. 2 little girls and an amazing wife. And so I had to hold in that pain, that anger and that fear. And still have a smile and still be confident because I could never lose that. But I vowed, I remember laying there 2, 3, 4 in the morning, wide awake, stressing and anxious. But I said, you know what, God? When I rebuild, and when I built it right, by your divine understanding and clarity, when I do this again, I'm going to teach it to the world. I'm going to take my story, my understanding of becoming unshakable, and I'm going to share it because, see, I needed that then. I needed somebody to be able to share with me what it meant to be unshakable. I didn't know. And I was needing it, and it wasn't there. Sure, we've all had courses, we've all been to conferences, we've all bought books, but that doesn't teach you how to become unshakable. And the only way you can overcome life's tragedy, life situations, is to have a foundation so strong that even when the ground shakes, you don't break. And so I set out to achieve this. 2015, I started another company called Global Integrity Finance. It was a hard money lender, real estate investment firm. In 2019, we were Private Lender of the Year. Then 2020 COVID comes around and takes it all away again. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. We just got back on our feet. We're just now back to being on top. Just now starting to breathe. And COVID comes in. I had said night after night, day after day, building infrastructure, strategy, structures, KPIs, everything that I'm going to teach you. I had built all that so that nothing could ever take it away from me again. The one thing I didn't plan on was freaking COVID. I mean, how do you plan for a national worldwide epidemic? And our industry, Casey will attest, Alexander will attest, our industry shut down. There was no loans being done in the hard money real estate investing world. Total attest. It was unbelievable. But see, I had already built a foundation. I'd already built a mindset, an identity that says nothing will take this away from me again. Nothing. Because I believe in two things more than anything in this world. My Lord and Savior, who's in control of everything, is mine, and I am His, and His destiny for me. Period. There was nothing that would take that away. I didn't care. In fact, we walked around with no mask on, probably being idiots, but it was a mindset of faith over fear. We were not going to succumb to this crap. We were not going to bow down and crawl in a hole and hide. We did not shut our office down. We pivoted. And within 90 days, I took that hard money lending company, got it licensed, got myself licensed, and we started doing primary residence mortgages. Because that was now where interest rates were at 2-3%. It was the demand. But see, because I was unshakable mentally, I knew my identity, I knew my purpose, nothing was going to stop me. And I had the infrastructure to pivot when life threw me issues. There's other words I'd like to say, but Brenda Ringwood's in the room and I can't. But because of that foundation, because of that learning curve, we then in 2022 hit Inc. 5000 top 100 fastest growing companies in real estate. See, when you have an infrastructure, when you have a foundation, and when you know your identity, nothing can stop you. Fear becomes nothing. Fear turns into focus. Fear becomes your fuel. Every one of you here today are afraid of transformations and changes. We all are. But as you've heard all day long, when you know your purpose, when you know your identity, when you know what you're destined to do, you plow through all the noise. And that's what we did. 2022 comes around and interest rates shoot through the roof. Hard money lending and primary residence were still going full speed. And all our clients, we have about 7,000 clients by this time, had told us time and time and time again, Toby, there's just no good deals out there. Alexander, how many deals do you send out that nothing gets picked up? Hundreds of deals. Everybody said, Toby, there's just no deals out there. There's no deals out there. Interest rates are too high. Margins are too thin. So in 2023, I said, I'm going to show you that you're wrong. And so I set out to acquire real estate. And I set a goal of 1,000 units in 12 months. See, when I set a goal, I don't set one that can be attained. I set one so far out that even if I fall short, I have tremendous success. Les Brown said, shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you land amongst the stars. So I said, I'm going to do 1,000 doors in 12 months. And we went to work. And in 12 months, we acquired almost 300 units, $20 million in assets at 50 cents on the dollar. Meaning, in 12 months, I made $10 million when nobody said there's any deals out there. We bought a 94-unit complex in Longview. I paid $5,000 for it. Out of all. That is a $6 million complex today. See, it's how you think. It's how you see it. It's how you understand it. It's your infrastructure, your systems, and your mindset that guarantees and ensures your destiny. And if they're not aligned, you're not going to ever achieve anything. You're going to be frustrated, you're going to be irritated, and you're going to be scared to a limit that you just know is not where you want to stop. Everybody in this room wants more out of life. Personally, financially, future, and you're here because there's information to be obtained. We've had amazing speakers here today. We've had amazing speakers. Every one of them have been through what you're trying to get through. They've been through the pitfalls. They've been through the trials, tribulations. And they've overcome that because of their foundation and their identity. And until you fully understand your purpose in life, Todd, I agree and disagree. If you don't have passion, you don't have your why. And without a why, you will never achieve anything. Because if it's only for you, financial, I need wealth. And when wealth isn't there or it gets tough, you quit. But when you have grandchildren or children or family or something that's bigger than you, it becomes your why, you will plow through the fires of hell to achieve it. That's what we talk about. We talk about becoming unshakable. Is what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? How many lives do you want to impact? And if it's one, you're in the wrong room. If you just want to change one life, which is yours or your wife or your immediate family, you're in the wrong room. I can't help you. Nobody in this room can help you. None of these speakers can. But if you're serious about a legacy, serious about transformation that goes on for generations and generations, now you're in the right room. Now you're where you want to be. And here's the deal. You didn't know it until you got here. But you made a choice. You made a choice to become something better than you were. Everybody here wants more, or you wouldn't be here. You would not be wasting your Thursday afternoon if you didn't want more. The question is, how bad do you want it? Everybody has talked about it. That you have heard testimony after testimony, statement after statement. You've read book after book. You've seen YouTube videos. You've done it all. But the one thing you haven't done, anybody guess?
Define it.
Take action. Take action. Yep. Take action. You have all the information. See, another thing Les Brown said was, if information was all we needed, we'd all be wealthy and skinny. Because there's information everywhere on how to do everything you need to do. But until you take action, until you say enough is enough, and commit to that destiny, that identity, you're never going to achieve your goal, your purpose, your call. As everybody said, and I'm going to resonate it, you have been destined to something greater than you are. You have been chosen to be something better than you are. You have been created to impact multiple lives around you. But what have you done with it? Oh, let me tell you, Tony. I will tell you this. I get probably 6 to 10 business plans a week on what everybody's wanting to do. And it's amazing. I ask them, when did you come up with it? Oh, year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. The hell are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? I just don't know what to do. Well, you've already started. And here's the other thing. I'll give them the next step. Where do they stand? Right here. Well, I need to think about it. You've been thinking about it for years. You're not getting any younger. It's not going to get any easier. You're going to tear a rotator cuff. Trust me. It's not going to get any easier. So what are you waiting on? If you're serious, or are you just lip service? See, that's the difference. You know, they talk about the 1%ers and the 99%ers. And the 1%ers will do everything that the 99%ers won't. And I mean not just some of it, everything. They get up early, they stay late, they invest in themselves, mentally, spiritually, and physically, and then they influence all those around them. They impact the people around them, and they start raising them up first. See, this is where your why has to be bigger than you. Because if it's all about you, great. Great. Then what? Because see, you will convince yourself that that's good enough. It's good enough. I don't need to get up and jog this morning. I don't need to go to the gym this afternoon. I don't need to not eat that cheesecake, Todd. We're easily convincing ourselves of the things we know we shouldn't do because we're just not going to hold ourselves accountable. But when you fully understand that if I do this, it not only impacts me, but it impacts everybody that's counting on me, it's a different mindset. I didn't have to be here today. I could have laid up and said, oh, God, guys, I just had my rotator cuff 2 days ago done, and it's in a lot of pain. I'm still not on any meds. God is no witness, because I promise you I wouldn't. I think I'm really red in the face right now. But see, I have a commitment to you. You told me you would be here. You came expecting me, so how pathetic would that be if I didn't honor that? See, my wife is bigger than me. Everything I do, you saw my stage. That is my world. And it started with her mother. And when her mother was younger, 4 months old, as Dr. Reuben, let me say this again, His Royal Highness Dr. Reuben West, and in 1994, I made a decision to stop doing what I was doing because I was going to lose the time with my daughter. And so in 1994, I walked away from one of my companies to start another one in the mortgage industry because I wanted the ability to be with her 24/7. Today, 30 years later, how old is she? 30 what? Yeah, so I'm not doing the math right now. So sorry. 30 years later, I get the same pleasures now with my grandkids. Because of the choices I made in 1994. Now, yes, 2008 kicked me in the gut, let me tell you. 2008, I was done. Mentally, physically, emotionally, I wanted to check out. To have such an empire, a pride factor, and to lose it all and now be homeless with a wife and kids takes a lot out of a man. It does, especially someone of my personality. And there was many nights that I did not know what tomorrow held. But what I did know was there was 3 people that begged on me to be on. And because of that, I set my mind solid to transform my mind, my body, my spirit, and to build so that I can teach others. So here we are today. Becoming unshakable is just that. Do you fully understand who you are? Or are you so comfortable and scared that it's no big deal? See, most of us aren't. If you would not be here today if you were comfortable in the shoes you wear. You want more, but something's held you back. You desire more. You know you have the ability to achieve more, but fear still beats you up. Fear still holds you back. Or, as I was alluding to earlier, stubbornness. I see business plan after business plan, and I shake my head because they're amazing strategists, amazing people that have never taken action. Tomorrow, from 9 to 12, we're doing a workshop. If you have not signed up, you need to. This workshop is going to explain to you the exact 4 pillars that I built within my company that ensures and guarantees not only will you scale and grow and expand, but have a better quality of life. To be named the 2019 National Private Lender of the Year in the hard money lending space is not an easy accomplishment to do. To hit the Inc. 5000 Top 100 is not an easy accomplishment to do. That means we beat out 4,900 other companies in the nation. See, you just have to understand it's within you to achieve it. You just need guidance. You need direction. I get tickled. I like to say tickled. It's a different feeling. When I talk to somebody and they say, I don't need a coach. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years. I know exactly what I'm doing. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Let's talk about who your hero is. My hero is Tom Brady. Great. I love Tom Brady too. The GOAT. Y'all don't know who Tom Brady is? You've been living under a rock. Tom Brady had 7 coaches the day he retired. Now, here's a guy making hundreds of millions of dollars, 7 Super Bowl championships. I don't know how many times he went to the Super Bowl. 7 championships, more than anybody else. And at that day and time, been playing football since he was little, still had 7 coaches making sure he was still the absolute best in every phase and every level of his life. Now, why in the heck would Tom Brady have 7 coaches and you have none? Explain that to me, please, because I can't understand it. I have a multitude of coaches. And they don't really, they're like, he's tough, coach. Let me tell you. Well, we're not charging him near enough. But we already made a commitment, so wait till it renewal. I'm not the easiest guy to work with, trust me. But I get things done. And that's the thing that you have to understand. Why would you ever put your faith in me to help grow your business? Because I've been there, I've done that, and I'm gifted. I'm gifted in the fact that I don't stop until I achieve success. I've never given up. There was 2 phrases on those dark days of my life. There was 2 things I said. Number 1, if it's going to be, it's up to me. See, there's nobody going to fix your business. There's nobody going to come in there and wave a magic wand and give you all that you want. You have to go get it. Now, you need guidance, you need direction, you need clarity, you need infrastructure, you need systems. But you have to do the work. So if it's going to be, it was up to me. And number 2, I learned this. I started wrestling when I was 10 years old and wrestled in college. And there's the one thing that was ingrained in me, and I stay with me stronger today than ever. If you don't quit, you can't lose. No matter what. It really resonated with me when I got into street fighting. If you don't quit, you can't lose. No matter what. And so that was my mindset. And that stayed with me during those dark days. Toby, yes, you screwed up. You're homeless. Your family depends upon you. You have a choice. Quit, give up, and nothing changes, or bear down, fight through it, and achieve it. And then tell everybody else how they can do the same. See, I could retire. We could walk away. But that's not my calling. That's not my passion. The reason why we're starting this tour, the reason why we're doing what we're doing is because there's so many people out there that need to hear these stories. They need to understand that they're not alone and that they can have everything they've ever wanted in life. You can, I'm telling you. Zig Ziglar used to say it all the time. You can have everything you want in life as long as you help enough other people get what they want in life. I'm like, well, okay, so I gotta sell a ton of this and a ton of that. No! Stop selling, start solving. See, nobody wants to be sold. But everybody in this room have problems that need to be solved. And when you become that person that can solve their problem, you become unshakable. You become in such a high demand, everybody wants to be a part of you and around you and within your circle, and you rise them up, and then they rise others up. So right here, right now, real quick, I want everybody to stand up. Get out of your chair, get up. Right, let's go. Up, up, up. Move, up to. Now, next thing I want you to do is I want you guys to give yourself a round of applause, right? Because you showed up. You're here. You're here. You walk in. That's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah.
It's like those the social media videos where it's like the original song that's like that's my whistle. Sure. I think it's pretty good. It's not great. Can anybody yeah, there you go. Can anybody do the whistle with their can anybody you can, Ruben, can't you? No, I just drool. Which is ironically, if Toby has enough of his pain meds, he'll start to do the same thing. Where did Toby go? One more time for Toby Potter.
Tell them to sign up for the workshop.
Sign up for the workshop.
Fill out the worksheet.
Fill out the worksheet.
So you can get your customized workbook.
So you can get your customized workbook.
Woo!
I thought he was signing. I thought he was saying you could be signing autographs in the back, which.
Oh, okay.
He'll sign forehead. If you got a Sharpie, he'll sign your forehead. Have you done that before?
We did the forearms.
We did the forearms. Oh, you did sign
I
forearms.
signed forearms, back of hands. I didn't sign the forehead.
No offense, that was for Will Shields, and you were just there. So.
Sorry about that, Will.
Sorry about that. I like this one better. I'm gonna give this one to Brendan when she comes up. All right. That was Toby Potter. This is an event about being unshakable. This is the whole purpose of getting the tour kicked off with that first mindset of bulletproof mindset, being unshakable, and understanding that your base, your structure, and your foundation start out with that unshakable mindset. Somebody that is also unshakable, that really is the true meaning of a foundation of something much bigger. And that whole, the way I'm going to describe this, I'm sure you've seen that poster where the mountain just comes up over the water just a little bit, and people see the mountain and they go, well, that was easy. That peak is over the water. The whole system, the process was easy, but then they forget that underneath the water, there is an even bigger mountain that got them to the place that they are at. That is a perfect description for our next speaker, who has gone through trials and tribulations, things in her life that have not gone perfectly at all, and she'll probably talk about that. But she is somebody that has built what this is, relationships with people like Toby Potter, to start this 42-city tour and builds a brand called Becoming the Better You over a span of 5 years, and going through some real difficulties to figure out exactly how to make it work. And now this is the beginning of that next phase. She's an incredibly dynamic speaker. I'm proud to call her a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the professor of change, Brenda Green.
How many of you told that you couldn't do what you wanted to do? Did you believe it?
Nope.
How do you think you're not good enough? How many of you strive to be well known? want our brand to be out there. I'm going to tell you to change that way of thinking. You should be striving to be worthy to be known. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
You should be striving to be worthy to be known. How you act and what you do can get you into a lot of trouble. It did me. But I'm going to share a story first about a lady named Nellie Bly. Has anybody heard of her? So I'm a Nellie. This lady was born in the 1800s, female. Didn't get to go to school because her brothers got all of that. Because she was a girl. And she wanted to be a journalist. Bad. But nobody would give her the time of day because she was a what? She was a girl. You know, the 1800s were supposed to be home, pregnant, barefoot, right? There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But Nellie did not want that for her life. She didn't want other people telling her how she was going to live her life. She wanted to be a journalist. So she goes to New York City. And she goes to the biggest newspaper. And the guy says, I see something in you. I'm going to give you a chance. But I'm dying to know what's going on in that mental institution for women. So you're going to get in there. You're going to get admitted into this. And see, back then, you couldn't check yourself in. You had to be admitted by a doctor. They had to declare her what?
Insane.
Insane. So she had to play the part to get put in there. So she went home, she changed, she looked dirty, she looked homeless, she pretended that she was mentally ill. When she got in there, she found out that the conditions were so bad. It's cold in New York in the winter. There's no blankets. They weren't getting fed properly. They weren't getting the medical attention that they were there to get, nor were they getting the medication that they needed. They were put there and forgotten. So when she came out, what do you think she wrote about? She wrote about the conditions. And she was the start of undercover journalism. As a girl in the 1800s who didn't listen to what other people told her to do. How many of you guys are a Nellie? How many of you want to be a Nellie? Because if you're not raising your hand, then nothing's going to happen. You need to put up your hand and say, I'm going to do this. That's right. So for me, I had to learn to share my voice. You guys know anything about me? Some of you do. I'm a Nellie, remember? But I'm also a felon. Spent 4 years in the federal system. I wasn't a kid. Can you imagine Wednesday before Thanksgiving, having every one of your doors covered by a federal marshal at gunpoint while you're cooking dinner with your family and being taken away in handcuffs? I thought my life was over, that it wasn't going to matter anymore, that I wasn't going to make a difference. You think that's going to shake you up a little bit? What do you think it does to your mindset? I was 46 years old. Wasn't a kid. But what I can tell you is I'm a Nellie. And I am doing what people told me I couldn't do because I didn't let prison shake me. I'm not going to say it wasn't hard. And I'm not going to say that I wasn't nervous. And I'm not going to say that I didn't doubt myself at times. But what I am going to say, somebody was my cheerleader. Somebody saw something in me that I didn't really see in myself. But I knew that my story could maybe change you. And I decided I need to change my mindset. But that wasn't all. I had to change my actions. And by doing that, I changed my life. I could tell you I'm a cancer survivor. I could tell you I survived being a military brat. I could tell you I'm going on 39 years of marriage. But what I want to tell you is I am who God says I am. And I'm called to do what he calls me to do. And had that prison cell not happened, I wouldn't be doing what he's calling me to do right now. I was building my life on what I thought my identity was. Did you hear me? I thought this is what my family wanted. I thought that's what my dad wanted me to do. I'm having all this great success. I'm making a lot of money. I was miserable. I was unhappy. So when somebody says, what is your definition of success? I say happiness. Because money's not going to do it. I'm not going to say it doesn't help. But it's not going to do it. So my whole life, I've been self-employed. I've been self-employed since high school. I have never worked for anybody else since high school, ever. I don't ever plan on it. I'm a Nellie. I am an entrepreneur through and through. 100%, I'm a risk taker. But if you don't start walking towards what you want, you're never going to get it. My kids witnessed me being taken out in handcuffs. I remember my daughter saying, you can't just take her, because yes, they can. But they can't control this. And I sat in that jail cell for 4 years, changing my mindset, understanding who I was, that my identity was not tied to my income. But your identity is tied to who you run with. Then I met Reuben West, and he said, the person who did all those things is not the person that I see before me now. I had a cheerleader. Unshakable. Here's the thing, I thought I was building my platform. Instead, I was building a prison before I even went. I was letting time rule me, other people's opinions rule me, doubt, fear, insecurities. I was letting it rule me. When you're unshakable, don't let any of that matter. Don't let it judge you, because that's what it's doing. That thing that's going to shake you up is judging you. And I decided that there were people in prison all over the world that had never been. How many of you letting other people run your life? You care about other people's opinions? I had this lady. She was attacking me. We'd only been doing this for a few years, but really getting heavy for a few months. And I called Reuben, and I said, Reuben, I don't know what's going on. This is what's happening to me. He laughed at me. It felt like 30 minutes. He laughed a long time. I said, well, what is so funny? He said, are you listening to yourself? She doesn't pay your bills. You don't live with her. All these things, right? Why are you letting her control what you're going to do now? Never mind the fact that you've only known her for 2 months. See? I was letting doubt sneak back in. I was letting fear control my emotions. My past life was a good life, but I wasn't happy. So I was building a cell instead of a company. I was building a prison instead of a platform. And I was going nowhere. So what I decided I was going to do is I'm going to stop it. I'm going to start marching to the beat of my own drum. I don't care what you think. Definitely don't care what you think, Mr. Toby Potter. I care what I think. And I care about what Christ says about me. And today I speak all over this country, in multiple churches and schools. I train for corporations. Most of my clients are multi-millionaires. I'm a felon, but I went after my dreams. I still got that label. I still got it. I'm gonna have it for the rest of my life. But I went from felon to fabulous, I can tell you that.
Right.
I didn't let anybody stop me. I didn't let anybody tell me. Didn't let anybody control me. But me. Play this video. When somebody else starts telling your story, it's powerful. But they can't tell it till you start. No sound?
Speaker, Bob.
Hang on a second.
You can't tell your story if you don't open your mouth.
Original shark from the hit TV show Shark Tank. I want to take a moment to talk about Brenda Ring Wood and the powerful company she created, Becoming the Better You. Brenda has been an entrepreneur since high school, building multiple successful businesses over the years. But her most remarkable chapter began at the age of 50, when she walked out of a jail cell and had to completely rebuild her life. Where many might have given up, Brenda saw an opportunity for transformation. She committed herself to deep self-reflection, growth, and personal change, spending more than 35,000 hours studying human behavior, mindset, and personal development while incarcerated. They say it takes 10,000 hours to master anything. Well, Brenda has more than triple that in personal mastery. She stopped letting fear, doubt, and judgment hold her back. Instead, she stepped into her purpose and began building Becoming the Better You, a self-help company dedicated to helping others change their mindset, take action, and ultimately transform their lives. Today, Brenda is a sought-after speaker, sharing her story at schools, corporate events, and conferences across the country, as well as internationally. Now, she uses her platforms, including BTBY events and TV appearances, to spotlight not only her own journey, but the inspiring stories of others who've chosen to rise above their circumstances. Brenda is also a phenomenal business consultant. Her expertise has earned her a partnership with me, Brandon T. Adams, and Brian Harrington, my son, at Big Brand Ventures. Now, if you're looking for real change, and you want to grow your business, or maybe you need a powerful speaker who delivers every time, look no further than Brenda Ring Wood. I highly recommend her.
I walked out at the age of 50 and created Becoming the Better You, but I could only do it because I had the right team. I could only do it because I had the right people in my circle. Not everybody was on my team, but I found the ones that were, and I'd like them all to stand up. And it keeps growing and growing and growing. Because we're here to make a difference in people's lives. It's not about me. It's not about Ruben. It's not about Toby. It's about you. We want to see you succeed. We want to see you grow. We want to see you happy. So if you're not, that's nobody's fault but your own. You control your life. I usually have a crown, and I did bring it, but I didn't bring it down. And I wear it. I want everybody to do this. I want you to put your crown on your head. I rule my kingdom. That's how you become unshakable.
Man, that was a weak after applause. One more time, give it up for Brenda Ring Wood. All right, we're gonna do something really quick. By the way, whose YouTube was that? Was that yours, Jason? All I saw was like, Brenda's like, we got the whole thing, like, Brenda's the best, you gotta work with her. Next video suggestion, we're perfection. I'm just gonna call it out. I thought it was hilarious because there was a good chuckle going on back there. I was with them. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick 5 minutes before our next speaker. If you are a speaker, if you spoke today or about to speak, I need you to stick around real quick. We're gonna get some photos. in the front of the room with Dr. Tobin Potter. Everybody else, you've got 5 minutes, and then we are just about near the end of the day and time for VIP or networking or all the different things. DJ, play that track.
Play that funky music.
Funky, just be clear, you use funky.
Oh, they've been loud. Two people.
Right outside.
Two minutes. 1 minute, 1 minute.
We're also genius.
If you're a speaker this morning or this afternoon, please make sure you get a picture with Mr. Unshakable himself. So we thought of it. Start to just find your seats. Find your seats. Ladies, you've had 10 minutes.
It's 3D. It's 3D. That's it. Every time you call something about 3D. 3D. Every time.
Last picture, and then we will be getting started with our final couple speakers of the day. All right, guys, start taking a seat. Start taking a seat.
Almost there. Almost there.
Home stretch. Final countdown. A couple more people sprinkling in.
I was dancing on your live, just so you know.
10 seconds.
Did you lose live? I stopped it. Well, for lunch right now. I mean, it's going live now, but I stopped it.
Me and Miles both were dancing.
There's probably nobody on it right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. We're going to keep the afternoon rolling. Go ahead and take a seat. For me, do me that favor. Just make sure you guys are still awake. I'm going to say it nice and simple. Unshakable. My dear. So good. All right, our next speaker is a media executive and a transformational leader in the intersection of finance, healing, and influence. Little woo-woo, little bit of love, a little bit of money talk. Ladies and gentlemen, Executive Vice President of the Los Angeles Tribune and Director of its film division, give it up for Donna Campbell!
woman. Where are you? There she is. Go ahead, stand up and give her a standing round of applause, everybody. Because she is the one that is bringing the BTBY conference here to you in Dallas, Allen. All right, for a little bit of fun. I know, if you've been like me, we're sitting and listening to every person's story, right? But who also has a story? Everybody here has a story. So I'm gonna walk around here, I'm gonna ask a couple of questions. I know, you already know I'm picking on you. Come on, stand up for a moment. All right, first state your name and what is your story?
I'm Lori Anderson Stokes, and my story is I'm a realtor in Dallas-Fort Worth for 34 years, and I also own a real estate company. My son landed.
Woo! All right, so if I
So
real estate, construction, roofing. If I was to look your name up in social media, ChatGPT, or maybe a search engine like Google, would your story match that? Probably. I'm gonna take that challenge, though. I'm gonna look it up. All right. Come on, stand up. What is your story?
Well, my name is Alexandra, and I'm an investment real estate advisor.
And as an investment real estate advisor, what are some of the daily tasks that you do?
Constantly talking to people.
All right, now, think about when you were 7 or 8. What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a doctor.
Oh, does that match? No, what happened?
Well, I went to college to be a kindergarten teacher and started student teaching and left in tears. And knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I went into business.
She's a real estate doctor.
A real estate doctor there, I like the connection. Now, thank you for that. So the point being is oftentimes we think we want to be one thing, we end up something totally different. What's our story? Well, in media, it is so incredibly important to understand the person's story that they want to have told in an article, for example. Because if I like reported you and said you were going to be a kindergarten teacher and put that all over the news in the world, would you be happy with me? No, because it doesn't match your story, right? So one of the things I'm going to have you guys do is write down these words. I control the narrative. I control the narrative. These words are so incredibly important. Because in media, we get to report a couple of different ways. I can report things as a fact. We are here in Dallas, Allen at the BTBY conference hosted by Dr. Toby Potter, put on with Brenda Ringwood, and just have and create an article as if it's true in traditional news media. Or, because I get to control the narrative when I'm writing the article, I can write those same facts, but also talk about each person, their story, the fun they had, the heart-centeredness, the leadership that they had, and the things that I learned up here. What story is going to be better? Number 1, traditional news reporting, or number 2?
Dose.
Number 2, yes, absolutely. So I learned this little technique from a medicine woman. Does anybody know what a medicine woman is here? Yeah, yes? Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. I'm gonna come over to here. I want you to describe your perfect medicine woman.
Someone who hears me in 10 seconds.
Someone that hears you in 10 seconds. So if you imagine a medicine woman in your eyes, in your mind, close your eyes just for a moment. What do you picture?
Stethoscope and some herbs.
Some herbs. We're not going to say what those herbs are, but we have herbs. That's all I know. All right. Anybody else want to give it up? What does a medicine woman look like to you? Yeah, let me come all the way over here. You can come on up here and meet me halfway. So, how would you describe a medicine woman?
A woman that knows about all of the roots, plants, shamanic experiences of life, trauma, celestial energies, things that are metaphysical, that is deeper than what we see in the three-dimensional space.
Yeah, he's getting closer, he's describing, but if you had to physically see what a person looked like as a medicine woman, what would she look like to you?
Look like?
Yeah.
She would have good energy, because you could see energy somewhere, right? And she would look beautiful in the energy. And
All right, good job. Go ahead and sit on down. All right. Imagine this, picture this in your mind. I'm in Montana. I'm on an Indian reservation. I know I'm gonna spend summer solstice at this lady's house. I don't know who she is, but I'm on an Indian reservation, so I'm thinking medicine woman of a tribe. What do you think I imagined? Long Indian hair, braided, old leather skin, no shoes. Everyone goes to her for healing. She does whatever over here, and you walk away better, right? So that's what I imagined. I show up, I meet this lady. She's a little plump, has long gray hair, rolled up in a bun, with some little glasses on, and I go to meet her, and I'm introduced to her as the medicine woman. And you know what I got? Mrs. Doubtfire. That's exactly what she looked like if you saw that movie. But here's what she taught me about my story and controlling the narrative, because it's the stories that we tell ourselves that shape our lives. So first, she said, Donna, I want you to tell me a story about anything in your life that you want to change. So of course, I sit down and I tell her the story of how I grew up in Silicon Valley. Sounds pretty good, sounds pretty impressive. It's already painting a picture in your mind. Except, both of my parents were blue-collar workers. I took the transit bus to school 4 miles. My parents were on food stamps, public assistance. I was a latchkey kid. And we were on the other side of the tracks, which meant we lived in poverty. But when you hear Silicon Valley, you automatically think tech. When I grew up, tech wasn't quite there yet. It happened a little later. High income, and a lot of other things. So I share this story. And it came out like a really long, boring documentary. Which I have to laugh at the universe now, because guess who produces documentaries? Guess who has one coming out this year? Not 1, but 2, and who's planning on doing 3 more, including one on Texas Titans for the state of Texas. Me. So I'm now learning how to rewrite documentaries. But she said to me, you know, that story's okay, but you should really tell yourself a different story. I know, let's do this. Let's say that exact same story, but as a comedy. And I'm sitting there going, how do I change this story so it's funny? And that took me a really, really long time to do. The next thing she says to me, she said, now, I want you to tell me the same story of how you grew up in poverty, but from a sad, tragic story, from a drama place. So I'm sitting here and I'm regurgitating, what's the Shakespeare play with Romeo and Juliet? And everybody dies at the end, not just then, thieves come in, all the gold is stolen. I mean, it's very dramatic. And she's like, well, all right. I want you to tell me the same story, but from a third person's point of view. So she did. So I did, as if somebody watched the story. And then she said to me, I want you to tell the story from a place of abundance and prosperity instead of poverty. Same story, same facts, different perspective. And that's exactly what we do here in media. We're putting the perspective into the articles, into the stories, into the media. So when you put down, and someone looks you up in Google or ChatGPT, they get the story you want them to know. And that's what it means by I control the narrative. She had me tell the story one more time. I thought I was done. I had already been there like 8 hours. And she said, now I want you to tell me the same story as if something greater than you created you. And that's when I got it. That's when I got it. So, the stories that we're telling ourselves, when I asked in the beginning, what's your story? You told me what you did. So let's try this again. I don't know, I can't see the counter very well. How much time is left?
9 minutes.
Oh, wow, I thought I only had like 10 minutes to speak. We've been gifting some time here.
You got it.
All right. So, what's your story?
My name's Robson Pritchett. I'm a father of 4 and I'm building a legacy for my family.
Ooh, building a legacy for your family. So, what is that legacy about?
Well, it starts with a little construction business. We're gonna grow to a multi-million-dollar business. We're gonna sell it. We're gonna keep going. So we're just getting started.
Okay, and what's the construction business on?
Landscape here in BTBY.
Landscaping.
Landscaping, new construction landscaping, growing into pest control and service.
Okay, so this is what we're doing, this is where we are going. But you said legacy, so what do you want to be leaving behind?
Well, number one, leave them with a trust that they can borrow from, so wealth, but also a father figure that's been there.
So, assets, money assets, leaving behind. 3 generations later, because you left this legacy behind, this asset, these trusts, your family, your children, but now it's 3 generations later. What do you want them, your great-great-great-grandchildren, to say about you?
That the only thing that mattered was, the only reason we're here is for the minimum.
And if that was the message that was left 4 generations later, how do you think they would feel?
That money's not the object, and it's all focused on the Lord, steps, and how you honor Him.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when is the best time to start creating that story?
Right now.
So right now, if I was to look you up to see what everything else was saying about you, would I know that about you?
If you get on social media, probably. Anywhere else, probably not.
So just on social media. So if I looked you up in Google or typed it into chat, I wouldn't know that you have, that you want to leave your grandchildren 4 generations away to know about the Lord and all of the virtues and the good principles of everything.
Not yet.
So if we were to start today, put together some articles or some different things and start feeding it into the system for that legacy piece, do you think it might live on a little bit longer?
Absolutely.
All right, what was your name again?
Robson.
All right, thank you so much. Give him a huge people over here. And we're going to see how we can rearrange that story just a little bit, or how we can come up with a story, because it's so incredibly important, because what you think and say about yourself is actually what creates in the universe. So when we start thinking it through and putting that into action today, it wasn't going to serve me to tell the story of how I grew up in poverty anymore. It was going to serve me to tell the story of how I was created, and then of course the abundance and the prosperity comes from that. And as I tell myself that new story, because I control that narrative, and then I publicize it into media, then it creates. All right, I'm gonna have you come stand up. Yes. What's your name?
I'm Chris with a K.
Chris with a K. That's a good story. All right. So share with us a little bit about you and what is your story?
My story is I impact the lives of others through service with integrity and loyalty.
And what do you do to impact the lives of others through service, loyalty, and integrity? Integrity is one of my favorite words, by the way.
I'm in the utility business. Electricity.
So retail, electricity, and then are you, the clients that you're serving, how do they experience that integrity as it comes across?
Well, I'm very transparent with pricing, all the so-called gotchas. In retail energy businesses, a lot of people don't understand it, so I educate them. And so that transparency comes through, and they get that, and they understand that.
Okay, so that's in conversations. Say I'm new, and it's KWK Energy. So I don't know anything about it. I'm new. I'm newer to Texas. And I was to look that up. Would I understand and know that that's what you do with integrity and to be of service with people?
Yes, it should be there.
Should be there. It's in the mission statement. What happens if I don't see that mission statement? Yes, because there's a gap between what you are doing to what the world perceives. And through media, we can close that gap and put it there to put out the right story, the real story. And then by doing that, everybody wins. But when you have that and everyone sees it's all about integrity, what do you think you could do in the world to create a change?
Well, just continue to be congruent and be true to yourself, okay? The famous golden rule, if you treat other people as you want to be treated, then you'll achieve those things. You know, if you help enough people get everything on that life, you'll
Yes, absolutely true, absolutely true. Go ahead and sit down. Thank you. Everyone give him a round of applause. Because if we're putting out stories, or we know in our mind, but we're not communicating it for it to go into the media world, then we're not necessarily doing our job because we're just regurgitating what other people do. Right now, there's a fact. There's 17 pieces of negative news to 1 piece of positive. And I don't know about you, but I would rather read stories about integrity and heart-centeredness and legacy and the things and the good things that we were doing because we are the story we create. And if we are constantly filling ourselves with negative news, we're going to start emulating that. But if we're filling ourselves with positive news media, we're going to start emulating that. And so since you get to control the narrative, when you're working with us within the Los Angeles Tribune and anywhere else, in any of the divisions that we have, we're asking you these questions so we understand the heartbeat, the heart thread of why we are doing the things that we're doing. I know before this conference started, I actually put out a couple of articles for Toby and for the conference. And I had all the facts, and I read my article. And then I called Toby. You remember what I asked you? What did I ask you here, Toby? With the questions that I asked you, so I could put the article together, I asked you some things like, why did you put on this conference? Why?
What was the purpose? What was the reasoning? What's the foundation? What are we going to achieve? What are we going to accomplish?
Yes, because that was the heartbeat, the heart thread. And I also asked you who you wanted in the room.
What was the perfect client? What was the audience we were looking for? We were looking for individuals ready for transformation, for growth, for scaling their business, that are tired of being stuck.
Absolutely. So what do you think that article did when it went out? Was it just another article full of news facts? Or did it have the heartbeat with the mission and the vision behind the person that was putting this conference together for all of you? And for all of us, which I say thank you for that. Is that just a few more seconds there?
Yes.
All right. So what was the one thing I taught you here? I had you write it down. What was it? I control the narrative. Do you know why you control the narrative? Someone else will do it for you, because here at this conference, if I take away one thing, it's because you are unshakable. And if you own your story and you control the narrative, you are unshakable. So say it with me. I am unshakable. I can't hear you. I am unshakable. One more time, let's stand up and do it, and let's blow the roof off. I am unshakable.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. positivity, more positivity. I think that's a very interesting statistic, and also your algorithm tends to determine who you are. So if you're creating, be a creator of positivity. I speak that with a little bit of guilt, because sometimes I do post a little clickbait, but that's just okay once in a while. I call it media backing. Grows a little bit, and then once in a while I just try to be positive.
Anthony, nobody knows what you do for a living. Why don't you tell them?
Should I tell people what I do for a living?
It sure is.
Who laughed at the Reuben? Jiminy crickets. So I didn't even say this in the beginning, I'm the MC for Fox Big Noon Kickoff. So if anybody watches college football, they call us the little stepbrother to ESPN Game Days. Usually I don't even say the words ESPN on the microphone because I don't like them. But we are Fox Big Noon, and I've been doing that for 7 years, and then I also, of course, MC random stuff for Fox Sports. If Fox Sports has a crowd involved in their event, usually they call me. I don't know why. I'm terribly fun to work with a little bit, just like a mid-level of talent, but I'm a ball of joy. Great conversation. So that's what I do, and then once in a while, when I get the phone call from the... See, that was good. You added to the effect. When I get a call from the frosted warrior here, the white face, most interesting man in the world, you gotta make it happen. Not the frosted warrior. Is that gonna be his next book?
Watch out, salt and pepper gang.
The frosted warrior. I did pretty good. So we are just about to wrap. We've got 2 more speakers, but I want you to really, really stick around afterwards. Don't forget that there is the networking hour, the networking couple hours that is across the street. John and Kenya are going to be leading the pilgrimage over there. They're going to be walking out the front door yelling, "Let my people go," which is really going to be awkward, but it's going to work for some. They're going to be heading out the door, and then, of course, there is the elite dinner, and then, which is the VIP dinner, and before you guys think about leaving before the end of the day, our last speaker, who we're not on yet, has an activity that you really, really do not want to miss. So make sure you stick around for that. It's just, we are literally home stretch. Can I, instead of saying yes, sir, can everybody say final countdown on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we need a DJ. Final countdown. Dun, dun, dun. That's good. That's good. All right. What's that?
For the record, he came in to do this, he's not a DJ.
No, I know. He looks, he's got the DJ hair. Either that or he's old school Rodney. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is. Where are you laughing at?
Sorry, I'm new.
The golf girl in the front found it funny. Great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is a dynamic faith leader, motivational speaker, who's an author whose work bridges spiritual and entrepreneurial worlds. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jonathan C. Howell!
So that's great music. Thank you, everyone. Brenda, I want to say thank you so much. And to the white
Warrior.
Warrior. I was going to say White Walker, but I meant not a White Walker. Frosted Warrior. Thank you. I won't belabor the time. You know, I got to remember I'm not in church, so I got to just let the people go and move on through this. But when Brenda mentioned to me about Unshakable, immediately I went to 1964, not that I was there, and this is not even Black History either. 1964, catch this, James Bond is stuck in Goldfinger, and he's been captured. And he knows he's done. And this is the best James Bond because it's Sean Connery, and he's the best James Bond. And the waiter, the servant says, "What do you want to drink?" And James Bond says, "I want a martini. I want it shaken, but not stirred." And I thought to myself, that's really what makes unshakability testing. Being shaken. Many of us are avoiding shaking. The markets are shifting without any notice. You have a team member on your team that you've invested so much into, only for them to tell you, I got a new idea. I'm gonna take this new job. And you're saying, but I helped put your children through school. I put gas in your car, and now all of a sudden, they're on their way. You will put investments into people only not to get a return on it, as you so think, and you will be shaken. But so often we are avoiding being shaken, not realizing that it's shaking that is actually making us unshakable. Well said. In order to have security in your steadfastness, in your unshakability, one of the things that's important is you got to take the risk in leading from the future. You have to lead from the future. The reason why you have to lead from the future is because the herd is in the past. They're in yesterday. They're chewing on the food. They're hanging out. But you're not paid for the problems you create. You're paid for the solutions you can create. The successful people of today are those that are in tomorrow. The pandemic was a wonderful shifter. It shifted us. Before the pandemic, we were in brick and mortar. Then we went to click and order. Okay? We were in the malls. Let me say this. If this is how you know you're leading in the future. If you are starting a business and you say, I should go into the mall, baby, you should stop right now. Shame on you. If you go into the mall, I go to the mall. I'm from New York City, so we don't really have malls. But I was traveling, and I said, let me go to the mall. And I'm walking through the mall, and I'm looking and I'm saying, look at all these stores, and what is in here? It's like an antique shop. It's like a flea market. Because the world has left the mall. But there are people who still believe, oh, I gotta get my business into the mall. If I can get in the mall, the people are gonna come. They're gonna buy all of my products in the mall. All the foot traffic. Not realizing we left click and order. I mean, brick and mortar, we're going to click. Everything's a click. You're not going. When my mother would take me to J.C. Penney's. And this is when we had catalogs. Y'all don't have catalogs. We had catalogs. We shopped from a catalog. My brother was a husky. I was a slim. You don't have husky anymore. Oh, and a slim. My mother and they try it on. We don't do that anymore. But your business, if you're operating with that mindset, you have not jumped into the future. You're not going to be here for the tomorrow if you don't leave the today. On Friday night, my father was a pastor, so we couldn't do anything. We were in the strict kind of church. I'm talking about no pants. My mother didn't wear pants. We didn't go to the movies. It was a prison. Okay. I'm talking about it was nothing to play with. But on Friday night, my father would say, all right, this Friday night, we're gonna have a good time. Let's go to Blockbuster. And Blockbuster for us was a mean Friday night. You can do that movie. And you go in there. Blockbuster refused to come into the tomorrow. What are we doing?
Who's not gonna need a VHS? Who's not gonna need a DVD? But you're operating with, and see, the reason why we stay in today is the comfortable ease in the today. But when the shaking comes, you're unprepared. You're unprepared because you don't realize that the technologies that have been given to you will help you for the shaking. But you've got to invest in your tomorrow by taking that risk. James Bond he's in Goldfinger's clutches. He knows it's only a matter of time. He's going to dip him in this gold. However, what I love, and I've been a James, Pierce Brosnan was right after. He was the next best James. But what I love is how he's shaken, but he says, I don't want my martini stirred. Now, I can't tell you how I know this, but when you when you stir the martini, you'll bruise the gin. Now, I wouldn't know this because I'm a church man, but I've heard this. I've partaken in multiple of these right after each other. But if you stir it, you will bruise the gin. Now here's the thing, although we are shaken, we can't be stirred. Stir deals with an integration. You can't allow the circumstances or the shaking to become a part of you. You cannot allow the bitterness that you encounter, the disloyalty, the dysfunction, all of these things to become a part of your being. They will compromise your purpose. When the truth is, the only reason why you're here, the only reason why I'm here, is because I'm here on purpose. I'm here, and if I didn't have a purpose, I wouldn't be here. I was nervous. I'm nervous. I'm always nervous. I have to talk in front of people. You can talk in front of people every day. And I'm always going to be, because I know people think like I think. What is he doing like this? Who is he? But I'm thinking, who's he? Who is she? What do they sound like? But when you realize the only reason why I could be here is because I'm on purpose. I'm on the airplane all the time. And my brother says to me, did you know they have shake tests on the plane? What is that? Because I'm on the plane and I'm feeling turbulence. And if you ever want to talk to God, if you ever want to find out if you have a prayer life, okay? Because there are people, I don't talk to God, but atheists, I don't know what it is. Let that plane drop. I heard Jesus in every row. I'm sorry, I didn't hear nobody but Jesus. And I'm praying, I'm still God. Oh God. Only to find out, my brother tells me that the planes, they take them through tests of turbulence. They literally take the plane and they take it through all kinds of turbulence to make sure that it's shake-proof. So that when the plane is shaking, I know it was built for this. Even though it's going in all these kinds, I'm talking about they be doing the cart service. And I'm ready for my car. I don't go to sleep till after cart service. I want my Biscoff cookie and I want cranberry juice. Okay, that's what I want. After that, then I can take a nap. We got ready for the cart. That cart came down. If somebody was in the aisle, they were going to be taken out.
obedience calls today. I'm just gonna pray. I mean, use this as fast time and talk to God, make sure things are right. Only to realize the shaking, the plane is prepared for. You are prepared for the shaking. Even though you don't and you don't realize that you're prepared until the turbulence. As an investor, you can't look at the turbulence as a reason to retreat. You cannot take the conflict as a sign. Oh, I must have went too far. I went too deep. I shouldn't have. You gotta lean in. When you're experiencing the turbulence, you gotta buckle up and be unshakable. I'm not gonna be, now stirred is losing control. As I saw people get stirred. People, lady touched me, she wasn't talking to me. The plane dropped and she grabbed my hand like she knew me. I mean, listen, there was no pattern. We were human to human. It was, if you walked past, you would have thought we were in a relationship. She was that close, I mean, on my arm. Hello, how are you? If this plane goes down, we're together. Okay? I'm not going to explain this to the church, so they don't have to know. But when you know what the plane is built for, even though you're being shaken, you don't get stirred. Right. We're going into what looks like stirring times because of the inconsistencies, because of the inevitability. However, when you know what you've been built for, come on. Whatever the turbulence is, I'm learning how to fly above. There is a place and a space of maturity as a leader, as an investor. The turbulence doesn't even, you don't even pay it any attention. You've got to take that resolve if you're going to be successful, because just because you have a vision doesn't mean everyone else accepts it. Doesn't mean everyone understands it. Doesn't mean everyone's going to embrace it. And you will get stuck at the start. You will be so fueled to start, but stop as soon as you come across the turbulence. You can't stop at the start. You've got to go all the way through. You will only be successful with the go through, even if you're delayed. A delay doesn't mean a denial. It just means I got to persevere. And a no is simply me not asking the right question. Because I refuse to accept your environment. You don't even know you're saying yes. You're just saying no until you say yes. Well, I'll take that for me. I'm gonna take that. But thank you. So we must remember in our being unshakable, it doesn't mean that we're not going to be shaken. And if you're not being shaken, you're not doing enough. If you're not experiencing any turbulence, you mean everybody likes you? You mean everybody agrees with you? That means you're rich. You're so rich, nobody wants to tell you the truth. Nobody's telling you the truth because you make so much money, they're afraid of you. And I'm willing to try it out. God, if you want to test anybody, you can use me. The scripture says, I'm not going to use much of it. It says a poor man's wisdom is despised in the city gates. What he's saying is, not that you don't have wisdom, but a poor man's wisdom. Nobody wants to hear from poor people. Because if your wisdom hasn't produced anything for you, how is it going to produce for me? So there are some who say, I don't need this, I don't need that. You find what you need. However, don't be stirred. Don't be stirred. If you're rich, Don't be stirred if you're poor. Be unshakable so that, watch this, and I'm gonna close. I thought I was gonna be, I don't know how, I'm down 3 minutes. That's fantastic. Every breakthrough will lead to a breakdown. Because breakthroughs have expirations on them. I was 19 and had told my parents, I'm out of here, this is it. I went and got a studio, and you couldn't tell me I hadn't arrived. I got a studio, it's mine, there's an elevator in here, and I've got the key, and I'm the only one that has the key, and it was fantastic, although everything was in the same room. But I thought it was great, the kitchen, and everything was in there. Until I realized I've outgrown this. I need a separate space. There needs to be a bathroom. There needs to be room in here. Because at some point, that blessing or that breakthrough has expired. It would be crazy for me to say, well, it's mine, I'm gonna stay here. It's 10 years and I'm still in the studio. Just because it's mine. No, there's an evolution. And if you can accept the evolution, you'll find yourself in the next space of grace that has been provided for you. But it will only happen if you realize, I've got a commitment to being unshakable. No matter what comes, no matter what goes, no matter the frailties of my own inability, I'm going to stand on purpose. And as long as I'm standing on purpose, even if it's a little bit of purpose, it's enough to get the job done. You don't need a whole lot of it. You just have to have one reason. And if that reason's big enough, it'll keep you company when you're by yourself. It'll actually be the closest friend because it'll be with you till the very end. So, be unshakable, but be ready for the shaking because you've been built for the turbulence. That's me.
Wait, nothing. Jonathan C. Powell, one more time, ladies and gentlemen. We are at our final speaker, and it's time to go out. You ready for that?
Congo time.
We should do Congo right now.
No, right here, right
Just-
here.
and just start a Congo line.
Good.
We're going to be doing something similar to that. Toby is no longer on level 10. I feel like the meds have finally kicked in. He's another one's going right.
You can't control yourself any longer.
Okay, let's see it. Everybody stand up real quick. Shake it out. Keep doing it. I'll shake it out for our final speaker one last time. She barely has. Great grandfather. Feels good? Good? All right, everybody in the count of 3 say, shaking not stirred. 1, 2, 3. Shaking not stirred. He was talking about airplanes, and I'm just thinking about a martini, which is not too far away. Ladies and gentlemen, our final speaker. You guys can sit down. You know what? No. You got bad knees. Everybody stand up. One final time. I want you to make this the loudest introduction we have had all day. Our final speaker is the author of 3 books, the creator of student leadership curriculum that develops confident leaders, speakers, and change makers. Give it up for the Victory Queen, Charlotte!
Thank you. Is my goal?
Yes, ma'am.
How many of y'all ready to go home?
No.
Y'all ready to party?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see what room I'm in. Who's here who got it?
Philadelphia? Okay, good. Who else in the house? Nebraska. Give it up to Nebraska. Clap it up for yourself. Came all the way from Nebraska to come to the Unshakable conference, you guys.
Oh,
I'm
wait.
from the city
Oh.
that we made us still. It's called Oak Cliff, Texas. Did y'all heard anything about Oak Cliff, Texas? Good things? All good things? What? Okay. So that's why I'm here to represent and let them know, okay? That's who I am. I'm here to help you remain unshakable. You guys heard from all these amazing speakers today, and I want you to know, when you leave out that door, you still gotta remain unshakable. It's called becoming unstoppable, right? And what I noticed is these are 2 words, but we've been saying becoming unshakable. Think about becoming, right? It's an ongoing thing. We're still becoming, right? Becoming. Every day, we're becoming something. I don't know what you're becoming, but I am a mother of a 24-year-old, a 22-year-old, an 18-year-old, sons, our boys. I know it don't look like it, but give it up for me. I'm almost done. My youngest is 18. He's headed to Kansas. Where's Brenda? He's headed to Kansas, Lansborg, Kansas, somewhere in there. But super excited because that part of my life is done, but I'm still a what? Mother, right? So I'm excited because one of the things that I learned on the journey is this, and this is for my entrepreneurs that are in the room. The download came in January of this year, and it was just letting me know, it was a reminder to let me know that we're still becoming. And the first thing I want you to take away is you gotta be clear on your vision. Are you guys clear on your vision for 2026? When you are clear, you can commit to that vision. I'm trying to help you guys become unshakable.
Yeah.
Then you'll have the confidence to walk like you know it's already done, whatever that is. It is a saying that I heard was, you can be average plus consistent, then you'll be great. Then, if you're great but inconsistent, you'll just be average. But if you're great and consistent, you'll be phenomenal. And what I see in this room today, some phenomenal people, Toby and Brenda put on this wonderful event. Guess what? I'm pretty sure you had to remain unshakable, right, Toby? Brenda, I'm pretty sure you had to remain unshakable, right? Absolutely. Okay, so I want you guys to know that my first event, 0 people showed up. That was 2013. 0. Guess what? I decided to have another event.
That's right.
Guess what? 3 people showed up. And one of them was 2 years old. Because it was my niece and my sister and her boyfriend. I didn't stop. I kept going. I got something now called the Books and Money. Bam, 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 right? The acronym. And we create team leaders, speakers, and entrepreneurs. So they are authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs. Y'all give it up for that. Yeah. Because what I saw in my career of being a mentor to youth is I saw that these teams, they have valuable information to share. But who's going to teach them and share them that they have a message as well? So what I decided to do is, hey, let's build a platform for them. And that's what I decided to do. Not only for them, but for adults as well. So Books and Money will be in Houston March 14th of 2026. So super excited, looking forward to that. Becoming. You guys, I was a 2-time teenage mother. And you can tell me that I will be going into schools, talking to students every day. So to let them know they can become unshakable. That they can become whatever they want to be, whatever they decide. Because people put limits or judge you because you can all live. What kind of sense is that? But I do understand, right? So I decided that my circumstance didn't make me. I make my circumstance. And for that, I will represent for my youth because I definitely know that there are some people that can be on the stage at 40, right? We gotta raise them up, and so they can be that person that we know they can be. So, with that being said, I got something like I like to call the victory walk. Y'all ever heard of that? Yeah. I didn't know that it was a thing, but when I came to the second speaking engagement, they was like, are you gonna do the victory walk? I'm like, the what? They was like, the victory walk. And I was like, what is that? You know, the thing you did the last time. I'm like, oh, because what I like to do is let the Lord lead me. And when he leads me, I know someone is going to get a breakthrough in the room. Not only myself, but someone sitting down. So if you're a person in the room right now, and you're sitting, but you're starting a new project this year, I want you to stand up. If you're a person in the room, and you're a speaker, stand up. If you're a person in the room and you're an entrepreneur, stand up. If you're a person in the room and you didn't get anything from any of the speakers and you feel like there's something else that's missing, I need you to stand up too. No, say stand up. No.
Everybody stand,
That should
Toby.
be everybody. So if I missed you, that should be everybody. That should be everybody standing. I want you to give yourselves a round of applause. That's all y'all gonna do to yourself? Because you've been through some stuff in 2025, but you heard today is 2026, right?
Yeah.
So like, when I say clap it up, I say clap it up for yourself. You made it through some things, right? Clap it up for yourself. You made it through some of those things that you made it through. Right? Yeah, and so with that, you know, fear is a thing, right? For some people, but I decided to step out on faith. And what that faith looked like is not caring what anybody says. When you do not care about what others feel about you, you will have a walk about yourself, right? You will think different, like, oh, who she think she is? Why could a man like that? Because I know that there's a 15-year-old girl that needs me. I know there's a woman that's going through domestic violence and she needs me, right? So I want you to think about your career, how you help people, how you service the people that need you, right? Think about that. And how would you walk and talk knowing that you could have serviced these people, you could go get these contracts, you could have made sure that your family is good and leave them. We're talking about all that today. Clap it up for yourself. You gotta represent. I'm here to represent, and I'm on a mission today to make sure you remain unshakable when you walk out the door. Why? Because doubt won't seep in, right? But you gotta shake it off. That's one thing. Another thing I love about this word unshakable, because you gotta shake some things off too. You gotta shake off distractions. You gotta shake off the doubt, the fear. What you gonna do when you walk out the door? Oh, you good now because you came to the Becoming the Unshakable event? You good now? You gotta have a mentality. Take something from what somebody said and you're gonna walk it out. I'm walking in V3. Now who's ready to walk with me? Who's ready to walk with me? Because when we walk out this door, you're gonna face some things. Yes or no? Yes. So you know that. What you gonna do about it? You gotta take the action steps now to know when you get home, you're gonna send those emails, you're gonna go make those calls, you're gonna do whatever you gotta do. I don't know about you, but if you would follow me, you hear me, I dare you to walk with me and say, I'm walking in victory when I leave from here, becoming the Unshakable conference, and we're gonna do this thing, right?
Yeah. Do it.
Oh, let me go deeper then. And so somebody needs to go a little deeper, because I'm called to believers and leaders. I'm called to believers and leaders. Leaders and believers don't like to show that they got it all together. They think, they don't want to show, hey, I'm in debt right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't got it together. I don't got no money in the bank. Or whatever your reason is, but you don't like to show. You don't like to be vulnerable, right? You don't like to let people know, hey, I'm got this thing together, but I need to get it together. But here's the thing. When you take that first step, that's telling yourself that, hey, I am going to be different now. I'm going to shake this stuff off and I'm going to get it together. I'm going to get rid of distractions. I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to know like I know that this is what's up. But what's up is me working with teenage kids. I don't know what y'all do, But Toby, you put this event on, right? Brenda, you put this event on. You helping him. You his backbone. You are important. You know that, right? You are valuable. You know that, right? So I am walking in victory, and I want y'all to repeat after me. I am unstoppable.
I am unstoppable.
I am unshakable.
I am unshakable.
I am the best me.
I am the best me.
There you go. Thank
I
you.
am the best me that I can be.
I am the best me that I can be.
I don't know what like I said, I'm representing Oak Cliff, Texas. So I am the best me that I can be. And when I walk it out, I walk it out and I spin, I turn, I walk like it's already done. And I don't know about you guys, but that's what I do, and I know that. Listen, there are people count on you. They're waiting on you. This is the action step that you're gonna have to keep making when you go out the door. You're gonna have to keep walking it out. When you cry at night, oh, you're an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs don't cry, do they? Oh, it's just me? Okay. It's just me, okay. So, again, you remain unshakable no matter what. So I am unstoppable. I am unshakable. I am the best me that I can be.
I am the best me that I can be.
I am abundant.
I am abundant.
The guy was just talking about the plane, right? And when he was talking about the plane, he was like, hey, he had to call on somebody. That's what life is like. Who are you gonna call on when life shakes you? It's gonna shake you guys. And what are you gonna do? You gotta speak to yourself. You gotta say, I am unstoppable.
I am unstoppable.
Look, I'm gonna make it happen no matter what.
Make it happen. Make it happen no matter what.
Is win, no matter what.
All I do is win, no matter what.
This is coming unshakable.
Becoming unshakable.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Nothing is going to stop me.
Nothing is going to stop me.
Not this time.
Not this time.
No one.
No
thing.
No thing.
No thing.
Nothing.
No thing.
No thing.
No thing.
No thing.
No thing.
No thing.
It's going to stop me.
It's going to stop me.
I am unshakable. I am a winner. I am the best me that I can be. And I want to represent for my family. I want to represent for the people that count on me. I'm going to represent for my clients. I'm going to represent for everyone that needs my service and products. But guess what? Because I am it. There's only one me. And I want to be the best me that I can be.
I can't repeat all that.
You guys gather around and hold hands right here. Just right out. You can't repeat after that. When I came here, when Brenda told me last week that I was the last speaker, I'm like, every time you do that, everybody say everything that I want to say. So, I'm like, I'm the last one. And so, what I thought about sharing with you guys is that when you're consistent, when you're clear on what you want, there's no stopping you. Working on something new. If you're in this room, you're probably working on something new, because I'm in new territory that I never crossed before. So, in that, there's an uncomfortable feeling. And with that, you gotta move by faith. There's only one you. So you might as well be the best you that you can be. And continue to walk in victory when you're in your house. When somebody says something negative that you really want to pop off on them, you gotta still walk in victory, no matter what. There's a book that I read to let me know that I already have the victory. So if I know that I already have the victory, how am I gonna walk? That's why I had you walking. How am I gonna be? How am I gonna think? I work with youth, they count on me. My sons are counting on me. I can't be broken, I can't be shaken. And when I do, I just, hey, shake it off and let's keep going, no matter what. So I thank you guys for having me here at the Becoming Unshakable Conference. Hopefully you guys got something out of today. And remember to remain unshakable. I am Charlotte, the Victory Queen.
Charlotte, what? All right. By the way, Charlotte.
Charlotte's not kidding. We were talking earlier about all the different stories that she was going to tell, and it turned out that she had one about an airplane that didn't work out. The whole story that Ruben was telling about the fire inside of the tent, that was actually her inside the tent. I mean, all these stories, you guys stole every story that she was going to tell. All right, we are wrapped for the day. I talked a little bit about what I do with Fox Big News Kickoff. I'm going to give you guys 1 minute about the power of storytelling, and that will be it. I am somebody that speaks about once you own your voice and use that voice, I say your story is your superpower and your voice is your secret weapon. Everything you learned here today, everything you heard here today is something that can make an impact on other people's lives. Ultimately, I think a lot of us are faith-based, a lot of us believe in Jesus, believe in God, and believe, or at least believe in a higher power. And when it comes to what our purpose is on earth, it's to actually lead a life that passes on what God gave us, which is our purpose. So when you find that purpose, when you hear of all the speakers that speak to you today, that motivate you and inspire you to become unshakable, sharing that is what ties us together. And learning how to do that is what ties us together. It's a great part about working with somebody like Brenda Ringwood and becoming the better you, because we go, like she said, we start with getting people to own their voice, because it's not just about speaking on stage, it's about being able to be successful in business. And success isn't just about finances, although as Todd says, I'd rather be rich than poor any day of the week, but ultimately true success is happiness, fulfillment, and living in purpose. That's what I've got for you guys today. We've got, first off, one more time, give yourself a round of applause for coming all the way through. We've got the VIP dinner coming up. We, of course, have the networking right across the street. If you guys have any photos from the event to share, please do that. That is the QR code. Did Toby leave the room? That sandbagging son of a bee sting. Get it back. If you got any photos, use that QR code right here. There we go. Go ahead and get the QR code. If you've got any photos right there. So, and then we have a couple examples if you'd like. So just, again, get that, we'll put it back up again at the end. But if you've got good photos like this one, for example, never fear, the Frosted Warrior is here.
Put the good one up there.
And then,
Put the good one.
second, if you get really creative with AI, if you're feeling a little Ernesto Verdugo-like, done by Kenya.
There you go. There you go.
Stellar. I feel like I gave you a new wrestling nickname once that thing comes off.
WWE, here I come.
Is there any final announcement? It is Tony, your event. You want to do a final send-off to everybody?
Yes. So, for those of you that are going to the networking event, get with Kenya and John. We are giving away some shirts and some books and stuff for those that go. So he'll have them, give them to you. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. I'm telling you, this is what I love. Being up here, inspiring, igniting, informing, and motivating you to become better. And if you don't make the decision to do it, that's fine, but at least you have the opportunity to become better, and I feel fulfilled. So it's what I love. It's more fulfilling than all the millions we've ever made. So I can tell you, when you reach that plateau of giving, you receive so much back. And so just thank you all so much for being here, being a part of this, and I love you all so much. Thank you.
One more time, give it up for Tony, the mentor. Definitely second. He's like, I just like it. Toby Connor, one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys very much for being a part of it. This is the first of a 42-city tour. What's cool about this, when it gets to start out small like this, Into the Sea is the great way to continue to meet more people and having accessibility. So this is a really special event. Thank you all for being a part of it. Have a fantastic evening. We'll see a lot of you later. So good. Good job, guys.
Oh, there it is. Stop playing with me. I love it. Yeah, I want the points now.